we've got a special guest right out of the chute. This is a lady who I first got to meet last, May, I guess it was.
Yeah, May.
And Allison Dairyland, Haley Heisel, and it's just been a circus for you ever since, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's nice to see you again today.
Yeah. It was, so first off, I was telling him before, I said, you are the first person that I've ever met that played polo. We talked about this during the Alice interview process. Tell us a bit about your polo experience.
So I only got to play polo for about one semester at Madison, but it was a lot of fun. I had to give it up in the spring in order to pursue Alice because Alice took up a lot of my time. But I tried out, I suppose, for the UW-Madison polo team last fall, and I was one of 12 people, I think, who made the team, which was really exciting. It was my first time playing a team sport. I did weekly practices, and we got to do scrimmages. I wasn't good enough to play varsity, but our team did end up going to nationals this year. Our varsity team went all the way out to California, so it was really exciting to get to back them.
Now, one thing
The horses know how to play polo better than the polo players do.
Just hang on.
Yep, you just kind of are there for the ride, and you hope that you hit the ball, because the ball is no bigger than a softball, really. And so you're kind of just hoping you go for the swing and you follow through and hope that you smack it really good.
Quite an experience. Yeah, I had never, when I saw that on your resume, I thought, holy smoke, I've got to talk about this.
Yeah.
Talk about your background. You are not a traditional farm background, Allison Dairyland.
No, so like most Wisconsinites, I was not raised on a farm here in Wisconsin, but I was really familiar with what it's like to be 18. I milked a cow for the very first time. I've spent the next 6 years learning everything I could about Wisconsin agriculture. I'm now a graduate of the University of Wisconsin-Madison's Farm and Industry Short Course Program, and I recently graduated with my degree in Life Science Communications just this May.
And that was right after you were named Alice, I believe.
That was about a week after. It was the following weekend.
Yeah, so you've had busy weeks upon busy weeks here.
Yes, yep. I got selected as Alice, I graduated college, and then we went right into June Dairy Month, and then I started as Alice on July 8th, so it's just been a whirlwind.
Now, you've been at, how many fairs have you been at so far?
This is like my 13th or 14th. I've lost count after a while. I don't even know how Fairs of the Fair Kelsey Henderson does it. But then also State Fair, of course, and I was just at Farm and Technology Days, which was wonderful as well.
And everywhere you have a role to play. For instance, at Farm Technology Days, you have a booth, and you make presentations as well.
Yes, so I do quite a bit of presentations. I even did one here today at the Central Wisconsin State Fair at 3 o'clock. Recently, I've been doing all my presentations on the process of farm to school or farm to home with Wisconsin dairy. I love telling that story because it's near and dear to my heart. We also talk a little bit about making butter. We do a butter making presentation, a little bit about the science behind making butter.
All right, now, the fair circuit ends up, Vernon County Fair is the last one, I believe?
Yes.
All right, so that's a couple weeks from now. And,
yes, so that's coming up very quick.
And then the fall focus. You always have a fall promotion. What's
so our fall campaign this year is going to be on ginseng, which I'm excited to learn a lot more about. We are a top producer of ginseng in the country, and 99% of that is actually sold outside the United States. So I'm really excited to learn a lot more about that industry here in Wisconsin this fall.
So that'll bring you right back into this part of the country again, won't it?
Yes, yeah. I think the number one is Marathon County.
Right, yep. There's a lot of ginseng there.
Yes.
Well, thanks for being here, and it's great to see you always, and carry on.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
And you can sleep next year.
Yeah.
Allison Dairyland, Haley Heisel joining us. If you want to hand your headset over there, and we'll let you get on your way. The auction underway, and we'll see if we can get it over to Matt here and get you caught up as to right now. We start out with Carter Lupke, a market hog, and that weighs 274 pounds, son of Josh and Lori Lupke, and the hog sells for $42.50. Now, again, remember, a unique thing here at Central Wisconsin State Fair, they sell by the animal. They don't sell by the pound, they sell by the animal. And so it's a lot easier to figure out how much money you're spending.
Yeah. That can be a good thing or a bad thing?
I think it's a good thing. I'm trying to convince Clark County to do that as well, because I think people walk in here with a budget for their sale, and then they got to sit here and do the math while they're bidding on an animal, and can I afford this or not? So
right.
No, I think this goes well.
Do you think it affects pigs and lambs, smaller animals versus steers, and the total purchase price?
Well, yeah, probably, because I think they know more precisely what they're buying.
Yeah.
Haley's just showing me pictures of riding the draft horses out at my nephew's place. Good to see you.
So you rode some Meyer draft horses?
Yes, she did.
Today?
Did you? Yep. Did you ride? You rode some of the Meyer draft horses
today.
Did you get up on the wagon at all?
I don't think I'm going to make it this year.
Oh.
And this weekend would have been my only chance, and I'm way down in Crawford.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but I made it onto the 4-horse hitch at State Fair
That's not. No. Clydesdales are. All right, second on the sale here we have Brooklyn Bauman. Brooklyn with the Marshfield FFA. Steer weighs 1226. The Brooklyn child of Dean and Shana Bauman. And that sold for $32.50. Posted by Custom Fab. Custom Fab buying the first two animals right out of the chute here. We have Jeremy Bauer, Market Hog, with the Golden Glow 4-H, weighs 266 pounds. Jeremy, the son of Stephen and Becky Bauer. Matt, overall, how'd the hogs look this year?
Well, I think it was a reasonable summer. You know, I was working the beef ring when the hogs were going, but I hadn't heard any comments about it being extremely difficult for the hogs.
I'm thinking you didn't have the heat this year. You didn't have.
We had like 1 week.
Yeah, that was it. So that hog sells for $3,500. And Forward Bank buying that one. Bob Meyer, we've got Matt Lippard with us once again this year, and Sheila Bowen is our statistician. So, and we thank Joe Anderson with Zaleski Sports for doing the streaming for us this year. All right, we've got our first lamb, and this is Lillian Andries, a market lamb with the Richfield 4-H. Lillian is the daughter of Kurt and Angie Andries. Lamb weighs 122. Before the before our broadcast started here, they were introducing their Master Showman class, which is something that's relatively new here.
I think 4 years now, because did you see they're highlighting that they got a new sponsor and they get a personalized belt buckle?
Yes, I did see the belt buckle.
And they went back to all the previous recipients and got them as well. So I was there for that presentation. I think there's like 4 years of recipients.
And that's really, for those of you who don't, I guess, explain a bit how it works.
So all these species have a showmanship contest, and most of them have like a junior division, an intermediate division, and a senior division. And the brainstorm was, well, we should take the best hog kids and have them lead a steer, you know, and so they all lead all three of the species, and then they get judged and ranked on their total points across all the species. So the comment was they're getting better, that, you know, these kids are getting better at training across species. So.
But what's always interesting, especially, is the cattle people have to show a hog.
Right.
And that's the most unique. By the way, the lamb sells for $1,800, purchased by Rev Cycle Incorporated. And now we've got Max Sternweiss. Max, a market hog from the Golden Glow 4-H, weighs 260, son of Clint and Jana Sternweiss. $4,500. Bob's Dairy Supply. And once again, great turnout of buyers here again tonight. We of course are in the Jerry Show Palace. They have round tables set up in kind of a banquet style, and then there are bleachers all the way around, and everything is full. It is standing room only. All right, this is Grace McGuire, Market Beef. She's with the Marshfield FFA. Steer weighs 1235. She is the daughter of Mike and Vicky McGuire, and this is a lot of Angus.
Yeah, so it's close to us too, right? The people that aren't, well, if they watch the streaming, they'll see we got a double deck show ring. That's a pretty nice innovation.
Right. Yeah, and that's one of the things that's really nice is you do get the hogs and the sheep up in the air so they can see them.
We've been here when it's been swelteringly hot. And
last year.
It's pretty nice tonight.
It was. I thought of that. You know, when I walked in here, because I mean, we're to the sale ring here. We'd always been in the back otherwise, and cooler in the perimeter. And last year, the hottest sale of the year, and we're right in the middle of it. So that sells for $52.50 and purchased by iState Truck. So another buy. All right, we go to Maya Cramp, Market Hog, weighs 245, Shady Lane 4-H, and daughter of Kurt Cramp and Amy Bethard. And actually, at 245, that's kind of on the light side, isn't it, for hogs, I guess?
Well, it didn't used to be.
No.
Right?
And
you and I have been doing this long enough that was near the limit at one point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 220 was kind of the standard for how many years?
And this hog doesn't look giant to me. It looks pretty compact.
Well, we've talked about that over the years about how the style of hog changed dramatically here. It's probably 20 years ago now or 30 years ago, but all right, and that sells for $2,500, purchased by Prevention Genetics. All right, Mackenzie Abel, market lamb with the Webster 4-H. Lamb weighs 134. Daughter of Chris and Tanya Abel.
So they had served a wonderful meal ahead of the sale here. And
that's what I hear for the food.
That's why you come.
Yep.
Yeah. And her grandparents were right behind me in line. So this is a multiple generation, one of these multiple, Dad also showed lamb.
So there's genetics in the sheep and genetics in the showman.
Right.
He's doing an excellent job. Nice smile.
Very nice smile. He's got a sparkle thing going on in her shirt a little bit.
And the belt.
Yep. Got to have some bling, right?
That seems to be the standard for showing beef, isn't it? The shiny belts and the stitching on the pockets.
You think it's just in the beef? I think it's pretty much across.
Is it across the board now? Actually, we were laughing at the draft horse show in Clark County. Some of them were wearing shiny pants.
Yeah.
All right. Lamb sells for $2,200, and it's purchased by Complete Control Solutions, I believe it is.
There are rules about appropriate attire, and supposedly there is such a thing as excessive bling.
Oh, really?
Oh, definitely in the dairy show. Yeah, that's.
Wait, for how many years? I mean, it was always standard you wore white, showing dairy.
Well, in dairy, still white pants. So we had our dairy show today.
Yeah.
And yes, when you were showing,
yes,
you had all white, right?
No, we showed grades, so we didn't have to.
Oh, that's why you had grades, is you didn't want to have to.
Yeah, and back in my era, of course, there were way more grades than purebreds.
Right.
So for instance, at Clark County, the grades showed on Friday, and that was the big show, and then the purebreds on Saturday, and that was just, there weren't that many purebreds out.
It was a more elite,
Yeah, now it's really the opposite.
And here in Wood County, they show together now.
Oh, they do? Okay.
Yeah. And some fairs will do like the more common, the Holsteins that are more numerous. They'll split them into purebred and grade, but they'll go with the colored or protein breeds, they'll combine them. But we've switched a few years ago here in Marshfield that we show them both together.
That was Taylor Wilson. Taylor with a market hog weighing 245, a member of the Pittsville FFA. Taylor with parents are Michael and Jamie Wilson. And now we go to Madeline Bernan, Jason and Michelle Bernan's daughter. Market hog weighs 272, and she is with the Roselleville Rockets.
Seems to be starting out pretty strong.
They come to buy. They come to, and I think in general, I've always said that these sales are a reflection of how mom and dad are doing business.
Oh, yes. Do you want to elaborate on that?
Well, I think back, for instance, we used to laugh about when harvester silos were the thing. And when the harvester salesman walked into these sales, they bought a lot of animals because there were a lot of people buying harvester silos at the time. And it kind of cycles. So
there was a commitment if the farmer bought the harvester silo that the sales company would buy the pig.
Going to buy the pig. Well, you sign for it, and if you want him to sign for it, you're going to sign for it. Sells for $32.50, purchased by Seehafer Refrigeration. All right, we have Rachel Pankratz, market beef. She's the daughter of Bruce and Peggy Pankratz of the Auburndale FFA. Steer weighs 1372. So what's the breeding on this one, Charlie?
I would guess there's some in there. You got that gray smoke sort of look. You got white boots though, so they're probably somewhere back there is maybe some Holstein or Hereford or something, right?
Well, the head is kind of Holstein, isn't it? It's
a little.
Yeah.
They're a dairy family.
Yep.
But it's not a half Holstein, I wouldn't think, you know. It's
So did you have separate dairy class here? Dairy steers?
yes.
Okay.
We had about 20 dairy beef shown.
All right.
Yeah. But they are listed in here as in the catalog as I think they're shown as market beef or dairy beef.
All right, and Pancrat Steers sells for $57.50 and purchased by Dairy State Cheese. And we go back to the hogs. This is Emma Seidel, daughter of Chad and Keisha Seidel. And sorry if I mispronounced the name there. And Emma is with Country Kids 4-H. She is going to be in grade 6. And the animal's name is Wilbur. It's crossbred. Her hobbies are farming, track and field, basketball, and volleyball.
Wilbur does all those things?
Wilbur.
Oh, no, you're saying it's Emma that does
Emma does all those things. Well, maybe Wilbur does too. You know, I had a snicker with Wilbur because, of course, people from my era remember Mr. Ed.
Green Acres?
Mr. Ed.
Oh, Wilbur.
Yeah, the owner was Wilbur.
Yes.
So now
the talking horse.
Horse
but
is a
the
horse.
the owner was Wilbur, not the horse, right?
Right, but Mr. Ed would always talk to him, Wilbur.
Yes, yeah. Now you know you lost 3/4 of your audience these days. Because that was the early 60s probably.
Yes, yep. And of course, growing up in a family with horses, you had to watch Mr. Ed. All right, that sells for $47.50. Nasonville Dairy, the buyer. So Ken makes his first buy of the day. All right, we go to Briggs Bauman. Briggs Market Lamb, and Briggs is the son of Angie Bauman. It's with Town and Country 4-H, and lamb weighs 120.
So a lighter lamb. This used to be mid-range, but now this is getting on the lighter weight of lambs.
Boy, it's still pretty well predominantly Suffolk, though, isn't it?
Well, they don't call them Suffolk. They're not, they're not purebred enough to be in the purebred classes. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's got that kind of Roman nose and the black head, and like a Hampshire would have a little gray on that black head, and Suffolk is real black. But usually the purebred Suffolk are almost too-leggy and too big, and so they're usually they're market animals. So they got a lot of Suffolk in them. But
so there's a lot of sheep in Wood County, though, aren't there? I mean, that's a pretty big.
Well, it's not as big as a pig project, right?
Right. Sells for $2,000. Purchased by A&B Process Systems. And we go to Carson Fight.
I would say that right now we have multiple Lindo children in the sheep project.
And they have really gotten into it.
Back in the day, they were pig people, right?
Right.
But they're deep into sheep now, and the mother is, well, they're all, I think Ann kind of brought it. Mm-hmm. But so our breeding classes in sheep are very big. If you go in the sheep barn, most of them are showing through Marshfield FFA, and we have a really solid, numerous, high-quality breeding show. But for people that don't know, this is the market division, so that's where the money is. So you usually think that's where all the interest is, but there's a lot of kids that have brought a lot of breeding animals, so females, and and by breed, right? So we have a lot of those, yes.
Catching on. Carson Fight, market hog, weighs 258. So with the Golden Goal 4-H, son of David and Jody Fight, and that animal sells for $3,000. Purchased by Hewitt's Meat Processing. And we go to Emma Bangert, dairy beef. Oh, red and white. And this is she is the daughter of Rick and Peggy Bangert, member of the Marshfield FFA, and the steer weighs 1370.
And Emma has been an outstanding dairy judge in Wood County. We send more teams to the state than some of the other area counties do.
Right.
And the Bangor children have been involved in that project a lot. And we don't have dairy showmanship till tomorrow. Some of the dairy kids struggle in beef showmanship. It's like they can't unlearn their dairy things, right?
Oh.
And there's a lot of things that are common when you're in a showmanship contest, but there's things that are different. Obviously, we don't use show sticks in dairy.
Right.
And there's a skill to be learned about how to use your show stick.
How is presentation? Is it quite a bit different? How do you present the dairy cows? How do you present the...
Well, how they put their hand in the halter is completely different.
Yeah. All right, sells for $37.50, purchased by Marshfield Vet Service. All right, we go to Clay Neiman. Market hog weighs 248. Son of Donnie and Kim Neiman, Shady Lane 4-H. Did you ever show beef?
Like 1 year. So I am old enough that during the time that I was a 4-H'er, the market sale began.
Okay.
So
we were talking about this. When did the...
Well, I think you're saying it's a 52nd year, I think.
And Marshall was the first one, wasn't it?
In the area here, yeah.
Yeah, I know you're a year before Clark County.
Yeah, I think I heard today 52nd year.
Okay. That conversation came up at Clark County, and I didn't know how long it's been, but not quite as long as Marshfield. And that sells for $3,000, and it's purchased by Partners Bank. All right, we go to Elena Owie, and the daughter of Dale and Kelly Owie. Market lamb weighs 155, and Brooke Owie is the official photographer of the sale, and she's right down here ringside getting pictures.
Yeah, so they have created a business for their photography, and it's the 4 Owie children, an acronym from the first letter of their name.
Right.
So it's Babes.
Yeah.
And they quite a service they provided this year, because she was in the ring because she's graduated out.
Right.
So she was taking action photos in the classes, and they gave a prize to the champion, a free photo session, and they were, the classic thing in the corner of this building where you can have your picture taken with a backdrop. They were doing that, so very nice addition to the program.
Well, and you've got someone who understands the fair, who understands every aspect of showing, and so, yeah. I mean, of course, they always also did draft horses for years. So. Well, Dale married into the draft horses. All right, and our animal sells for $2,000, purchased by Wisconsin Properties. All right. Is that what Rob's doing now? It's Wisconsin Properties? All right, we have Camden Lipke. Market hog weighs 255. Camden is the daughter of Josh and Lori Lipke, Snyder 4-H Club. Is it just me, or are these kids looking younger every year?
Well, this is the second loop, so we're only 18 animals in. This is the second loop key we've had already. So,
which is always one of the things about 4-H's. It is a family heritage. It's a family tradition. A lot of the same names. These kids are showing against kids of people that their parents showed against and their grandparents showed against.
Or their parents met at the fair.
Yeah.
Right?
Guilty.
So did you have kids that exhibited at the fair?
Yes.
What did they, besides draft horses, what did they show?
Our kids didn't show draft horses.
They never were involved in draft horses at all?
Nope. All 3 of them, even though we didn't live on a farm, all 3 showed cattle, showed dairy. I wanted them to know how to do that. And a couple years we borrowed, animals from my brothers. But then, of course, Virgil Esselman lived just west of Loyal and had just stellar cattle.
Outstanding animals.
And he was just so good with the kids. And anybody from town that wanted to show animals, he'd work with them. And so our kids showed Virgil's animals.
And did well with his cattle.
Yeah, it's just, showing Virgil's cattle is like, don't screw up.
Right.
Yeah, you can win this.
This animal is intended to win.
If you let this animal go the way it's supposed to go, so yeah, they did that. And then my daughters did rabbits. Actually, all 3 did rabbits. So we did have rabbits in town, but so.
You never had them in your house?
No, we had them.
Like it gets really cold outside and the rabbits have to move in?
We had a pretty nice insulated rabbit house. The one rabbit probably would have been a pet, but no.
And you were able to eventually get out of rabbits? They didn't out-multiply yourselves? Or?
No, our rabbits weren't that prolific.
Oh.
Everybody said they breed like rabbits. Ours did not. My one daughter had Dutch belted, and the other one had mini lops. And
maybe those aren't the prolific breeds.
No.
Huh? This steer does not want to come toward us.
I'm blaming Sheila. This is Michelle Potts. Michelle has market beef weighing 1374 with the Marshfield FFA, daughter of Neil and Brenda Potts. But yeah, it's like I'm not going any further. For years at Clark County, we did the sale at night, and they would bring the beef in a side door, a walk-in door.
And the lights would startle them, I suppose.
And there's a crowd. The bleachers were up alongside the entryway, and boy, the beef just did not like that.
Didn't want to come in.
Yep.
So Potts are known as Potts-polled Herefords, but they don't show Herefords for steers.
Okay.
But you saw we did still have a Baldy.
And anyway, Potts Animal sells for $5,000, purchased by Wheelers of Marshfield. And now we go to Ava Hasenoil, daughter of Paul and Jill Hasenoil, Country Kids 4-H, and a hog weighs 272.
And we have extra notes on Ava
All right.
as well.
There we go.
So she's entering 7th grade at Auburndale School District, and the pig's name is Daisy.
Is that named after Mark Knoyer's shirt?
I don't know.
Oh, that's sunflower.
That's sunflowers.
Sunflowers, yeah.
Ava, I'm going to clarify that, not the pig, enjoys swimming, basketball, cross country and track, and also zooming around on the golf cart. And last year, Ava won showmanship, and that is her favorite fair memory. And last year, she also had the grand champion market hog.
Ooh, high.
Yeah, so not this year, but she did very well, I'm sure.
Hog sells for $4,200 and purchased by John Newmiller State Farm. Yeah, we have some nice notes that Mark Neuer asked some of the kids to write down some of the stories of their story, and so yeah, we have some very nice notes from them.
And I'm a little confused because I knew they had notes on that Champion Supreme Showman contest. I thought that's what we were getting, but these are a different group of kids.
Yeah, he told me about this the other day, and he said he'd add them to it. So, yep. All right, we have Jackson Stanton. Market lamb weighs 128 pounds. Jackson is the son of Chris and Ann Stanton, a member of the Badger 4-H.
And the sun is right in your face now, isn't it?
Yep. So somebody's getting the reflection off my bald head and is blinded out there. So
actually, you're tall enough that it's right in your face, not your.
Not my head. Yeah. So if I stood up, I'd be.
I'd be in the same boat as you, but I have a cap on.
We're the first to know it's raining. So it sells for $2,400. Purchased by Neiman Service Incorporated.
Jason Morrow.
Oh, I'm sorry, wrong one.
Jason Morrow Trucking.
Jason Morrow Trucking. I catch on eventually. All right, this is Jonathan Klum. He's the son of Josh and Deanna Klum. He's with the Richfield 4-H. Hog weighs 277. And, we were talking about the Lindos and their hogs, and this is what a lot of those hogs look like. There's some Duroc here in there.
There is, yeah. A reddish fellow here.
Yep.
So we got Sheila here helping us, and last year she wasn't here for us, and we got her back. But this is much easier now that they have that big screen for us.
Oh, yes.
So we've been doing that for, maybe 10 years now. I actually get the screen, so it's donated by Ocean Spray.
Okay.
But it's really nice because you got up there, if you're not buried nose in the book, you can see on one screen what exhibitor number, 4-H club, and then the other one, it's telling you who Forward Investment, an example here, is bidder number 91. So it helps out a lot for us.
forward investment just buying that hog for $4,500. So yeah, it is nice. It's
so the thing I think is this committee thinks of nearly everything, right? Every year, how can we make it better? And I think they do a nice job.
Yeah, it's been a really nice. All right, we go to back to dairy steer here. This is Callie Bell. Dairy beef weighs 1664. This is a tall one. She is with the Golden Glow 4-H, daughter of Josh and Lacey Bell.
So that means that our fellow Farm Tech Day committee person, Janet.
Yes.
That would be grandmother here. Janet
I think
and
our favorite saying for Janet Bell was lead, follow, or get out of the way.
Well,
she was terrific.
She
was terrific, and then she came over and helped us in Clark County.
Yep.
Yeah, she is. She's just, and you look back, and we've talked about this over the years too, with the experience we had with Clark County, with Farm Technology Days here in Wood County in 2018, and then of course in Clark County in 22, and it's just so many people involved with that. It's such a good experience. Steer sells for $57.50, and it was purchased by Next Gen Agronomy. All right, we go to Avery Stickert. Market hog weighs 274, and she's with the Golden Glow 4-H. Avery is the daughter of Eric and Tammy Stickert.
So a lot of these names are names you're familiar from Clark County too, right?
Stickerts. Oh yes. Yep. Stickerts wires. Stickerts, Meisners.
Chili crowd. Right?
They were. Chili 4-H. The Myers, who spelled their name wrong. They spelled it M-A-Y-E-R. M-A-Y-E-R.
Not M-E-I-E-R.
No, mine's M-E-Y-E-R, but it's supposed to be M-E-I-E-R.
Yeah.
It was changed by a grandmother.
Oh, it came across on the boat that way?
It was M-E-I-E-R, and then it was changed. There was a lot of anti-German sentiment during World War I. And M-A-I-E-R is the German spelling.
It was a little more German.
M-E-Y-E-R is more Bohemian.
Okay.
So you get a purist, you say, we're not German. Yeah, we are. But Sticker's animal sells for $6,500, and it was purchased by Central Mechanical Systems. And now we go to Samantha Kujak, daughter of Ryan Kujak and Laura Kujak, Market Lamb with Marshfield FFA, weighs 142.
So you were in the box at Neilsville for the sale?
No.
You weren't?
Nope.
You often have been, haven't you?
I had for probably the last 30 years.
You retired?
Yeah. My brother stepped down as auctioneer, so yeah.
You two were a package deal, huh?
You buy one, get one for, yeah. You have to take the other one. So no, we didn't do the sale this year. Tim Schindler did the selling, and then my nephew, Tony Meyer, was in the box, did the announcement.
I handed out some back tags, so I should have known that because I was there for the beginning of the sale.
Okay.
We actually exhibited dairy cattle in the open show.
Right, yep.
So I had to get back and tend to animals. So.
Okay.
So I just assumed that sometime during the sale, you and Randy were going to be there.
Yeah. No, we were there, but we weren't
in the box.
No, we were standing around telling everybody what they were doing wrong. No.
But then must be your niece has a lot to do with the sale too.
Cindy.
Yes.
Yeah, Cindy's on the livestock committee. Cindy
so you got plenty of Meyer family concentration there.
Yeah. So Kujak's animal sells for $14.50, and it was purchased by Gardner Cold Storage. And now we have Sierra Russell, daughter of Clint and Jana Sternweiss. Market hog weighs 266, and she is with the Golden Glow 4-H. Yeah, we really can't remember. And my brother sold it a little longer than I did the announcing. I started out as one of the bid takers, and Mike Perkle was actually Vic Wagner, I think, was the announcer. And then Mike Perkle came in, and Mike did it. And then when Mike left is when I became the announcer.
Oh.
So
the Perkles are, Mike grew up down the road from me in Pittsville.
Right, yeah.
He's still an active citizen in the Neilsville community, I think, is he not?
I believe so, yeah. I haven't seen him for a while, but
I think he keeps the country club under control, right?
He and Graham Williams, yep.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, a couple of daughters are really good softball players.
Yeah.
Hillsville had some powerhouse softball teams. Yeah, Perkle would pitch, and they were tough. So the animal sells for $5,000, and it was purchased by Allied Co-op. And this is Brenna Thiel, daughter of Bill and Barb Thiel, Meadowbrook 4-H. Steer weighs 1486. And this is kind of a deceptive. You look at, you don't expect them to be that heavy. It's kind of a slender, but still solid.
Really refined leg bone, like I would appreciate as a dairy judge, right? But we got a decent set. 1486 is a
nice size.
The other thing that gives away a little bit is those steers that are bred strictly for show have all this great hair, and this one there's not as much hair to work with here on this animal.
Yeah.
If they took a blower to this one to train all the hair ahead to make it look longer, there's not a lot to work with there.
So how much? So now you show cattle, and you have for a long time. So how much preparation goes into getting that dairy animal ready, or getting that? And now
some of these kids this time of year, we're getting toward the end of the season, but one of the grandpas told me he's went to see all his different grandchildren. He's been to 8 fairs this year, and they weren't all county fairs. Some of them were the Northeast Protein Show, the Northwest Protein Show. So I think it's a lot of work. So we brought cows to Neilsville, which is easier for us, but cows are more work because they eat a lot and they got to get milked, and because they eat a lot, they crap a lot, and
that's going to be carried away.
Right. So it gets to be pretty intensive, but even here in the livestock, when I was talking about training of hair, it's an everyday commitment, and they walk them every day. They walk the pigs every day. They walk the lambs every day. They might train them so their head stays up, so that they have a long neck. There's a lot of effort that goes into these projects.
Sierra Russell's animal sells for $7,500, and it was purchased by John Richardson Milk Hauler. So there's, I think, our top of the sales so far. All right, this was Brianna Thiel and a market beef. Excuse me.
Yeah, Brenna got through already too.
Oh, we missed Brianna Thiel with the market. Oh, that was the market beef we were talking about. That was Bill and Barb Thiel, and that steer weighed 1486, and that sold for
$3,000.
For $3,000. And then we had Lucas Ockenick, market hog, son of Jeffrey and Jenna Ockenick. Pleasant Corners 4-H, hog weighed 245, and that brought and this is Joshua Lindo, market lamb, son of Kevin and Ann Lindo, the Marshfield FFA. Lamb weighed 126, and it sells for, purchased by RZ Builders out of Loyal. And that goes for $1,700.
I questioned Sheila's records, and she was on.
So now we go.
I think what's messing us up is we had. I was talking about 2 Lupkes in the first 17. Well, now we had Brenna Thiel at number 27 and Blair Thiel at 30. I think that's got to be what's got us messed up.
And we're easily confused. All right, we go. This is Blair Thiel, and this is Market Hog. Market Hog weighs 271. Blair is the daughter of Bill and Barb Thiel.
You said did you show pigs ever?
No.
Nor your children?
No.
No.
My brother did. Danny had pigs.
He was big into pigs.
Yep.
He just judged the Athens Fair, the pigs, I think.
He judges all over the place. Danny
I made my first entrance into the Athens Fair.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I saw in the book.
That's going on this weekend.
Last weekend.
There we go, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so Thiel's animal sells for $5,000, purchased by Macmillan Electric. And now we go to Taylor Kunninger. Taylor is daughter of Daniel and Megan Kunninger, Marshfield FFA. Steer weighs 1266. Yeah, Danny is certified to judge just about everything. And so a lot of these little fairs get him because he can judge everything.
He can judge everything.
Yeah.
Well, I judged the dairy, and it felt like it was everything because I started with a junior show, and then we did showmanship, and there was 5 classes of regular showmanship and Little Britches, Culver Buds showmanship, and then we started the heifers, and then I didn't have to do it. They had Little Britches at noon, and then I came back, and then we started the open show, and then we went back to the junior show to do the cows, and then they had an over the hill showmanship.
Oh, really?
Yes.
For what's the age class in that?
You're no longer a junior.
Okay.
And you have to pay $1 to be in, and it's a jackpot, so everyone gets their money back. But Tiffany Lang too, a few years back, River Falls student died in a car accident the weekend of checking back into school. And she was an outstanding dairy exhibitor, so her family established a Tiffany Foundation. And they're up in that Athens, Medford area, and the Tiffany Foundation matched the jackpot money.
Oh, wow.
So, and there was like 20 plus people in there. It was like a $50 prize, and I've judged these things before. It's usually comical. People don't take it too seriously. They were out for blood. There was outstanding showmen in there.
Taylor Kuninger's animal sells for $52.50, purchased by Total Electric. And now we have Mallory Cypress. Market hog weighs 276. Daughter of Jason Cypress, Kim Keating, and Tammy Grossel. And she's with the Richfield 4-H. So you were at the Athens Fair.
I think like a week before they still didn't have a judge, so I started looking better.
Had you been to the Athens Fair before?
I had never been there.
Oh, that is. They had asked me at one year because there were a couple of draft horse cooks and I can't think of the anyway, a couple of families, and they had asked me to come up and do the draft horse show one year to announce for them one evening, and it's just a great little community fair.
It is very nice. It really is.
The fairgrounds are right in the middle of town. They always laugh because the lamb sold for $47.50, purchased by Ron Redmond Construction. And so, Gary Beestrom had announced the draft horse show for years up there. Gary's kind of the man behind the fair. And so they had asked me to come in and do the draft horse one evening. And it's a little ring. The ring is probably a third the size of what this building is.
And it can hardly fit a draft show.
Right, and the horses have to, the guys on the higher wagons have to duck when they come in. and the beer bar is in the corner of the show ring.
Right, yeah.
So if you come around, you might come around and have a beer handed to you while you're showing.
Yeah.
But
very, very friendly fair.
It's just a great community fair. All right, this is Zachary Bauer.
So I was looking for one of those bios.
I flipped my page the wrong way.
We're on Taylor Schill.
Yeah, we're on Taylor Schill. Taylor Schill, I'm sorry about that. Taylor Schill had a market lamb weighing 138. She's the daughter of Kevin and Sandy Schill, member of the Richfield 4-H, and that sells for $2,000, and it's purchased by Dietschy's Dairy.
And Kevin Schill is a hoof trimmer for dairy cows, and he trims hooves at Dietschy's Dairy.
At Dietschy's Dairy, and they have a few hooves to trim. I see, all right, this is Abrietta Harches, a market hog out of Badger 4-H, weighs 246. The daughter of Jay Harches and Michelle Turbin Harches.
Kevin Schill had a cow collapse on him.
Really?
Really might. Well, he's back, but we thought it was going to be career-ending, because it was a bad accident.
On the legs or over all?
No, they didn't even. Some people didn't even see him. It was a big cow, and he was under the cow. That happened like last May, so we're pretty happy for him that he's doing better. But he does say he aged about a a decade in a couple of weeks. So,
yeah, I can't imagine. I can't.
So that is those of you who don't know, cows get pedicures, and cows in nature don't live on concrete, and on dairy farms they do. And so we've gotten pretty good at maintaining cows' feet. So that's a profession that a lot of people don't know about, is a dairy cattle hoof trimmer. But usually you are a pretty muscular person.
Yep.
And a lot of people quit before they get too old, right? Because it's a demanding job.
I always say, as you age, it used to be you grab things to make them move. Now you grab things to stabilize yourself.
Yeah.
All right, Henrietta Hartzy's hog sells for $3,900, and it was purchased by Econ Electric. All right, now we've got Braxton Tritz. Market hog weighs 271 with the Webster 4-H, and Braxton is the son of Craig and Daly Tritz. And hoof trimming is really, that's the real science, isn't it?
It is.
They have to know what they're doing.
And in fact, there's professors at universities that, learn about, the hoof can be, as I said, affected by the surface that they're on. And if the surface is too abrasive, it could wear the toes short. Or if it's a bedded pack, they can grow their tails too long. It's also affected by genetics. And it's also affected by how you feed them and the environment and so forth. So, but most cattle in these big freestall barns are looked at maybe a couple times lactation now these days, because we need them to last and do well.
Well, it's almost a regularly scheduled pedicure is what it boils down to, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, Braxton Tritz animal sells for $3,900, and that was purchased by Doyne Excavating. Now he's got Travis Weigel, market beef, weighing 1282. He's with Marshfield FFA, son of Donald and Roxanne Weigel.
But this having it scheduled is better than what we used to do. We used to let the cows get lame, and then we're like, oh, we better look at them. And now we, that still happens, but it happens less because we're looking at them just routinely.
Well, animal health has become such a big factor. I remember, back in the days, when I was with Smith Feed Service and Purina, always, they said there were the genetics were there for 40,000 pounds, but the management was what was lacking. And it was animal health, it was cow comfort, it was, the two things that changed the dairy industry dramatically in my lifetime were the total mixed ration and cow comfort.
Yeah. So, we were just celebrating at our farm. We just got our settlement check for our July milk production, and we didn't increase our herd size recently. So that's a good way to ship more milk than ever, is to milk more cows. Yep. But we had our biggest month, and that's unusual to do that in July because you got heat and things like that. But my son, I say, there's other things, but he's been obsessed with fly control.
Yeah.
And I always thought we had that down pretty well. And now I learned you could do better. And the cows don't crowd in the pens and as much. And we made a lot of milk.
Travis Weigel's animal sells for $4,100, purchased by Northside Elevator. And then we have Addison Bell. And Addison with a market hog weighing 263. And she is the daughter of Josh and Lacey Bell.
So yeah, we keep on doing everything just a little bit better all along.
Yeah. You think about. So, what did he do for the fly control? What did he?
Well, he bought a very powerful sprayer, right? And so we do. Obviously, you don't want manure laying around. That's where flies breed. We've been doing that. Some of these newer barns that are tunnel or cross ventilated get the wind speed up high enough that it's just
12
really
miles an hour, I think
it's just very difficult to be a fly. But we don't have that at our place. So we have, I think we're a little unusual that way, but we've bought fly parasites. So twice a month the shipment comes, these little eggs of of little wasps that parasitize fly larvae, and you go sprinkle them around where you think they're breeding. And so that's a very organic farmers could do that because it's a very natural system. But we decided that we want to kill them with poison and use fly parasites, right? So we bought a really high-powered sprayer that can go deep into a pen, and we had to buy a cheap truck to put it on so we can go all these places.
Yeah.
And it's really nice. If you're on a dairy farm in summer and you have very few flies, it used to just be assumed if you're a dairy farm you got flies, right?
Yep. Brianna Aui, Market Lamb, weighs 126. Brianna, the daughter of Dale and Kelly Aui, and of course she's with the Auburndale FFA. Addison Bell's animal, by the way, sold for $4,100. That was purchased by Northside Elevator. And before that, we had the dairy beef.
Travis Weigel. That was
$42.50 on that one, and that was purchased by Gardner Cold Storage.
So we've got some repeat buyers through the sale already here.
Oh, sure. And it's always, so Aui's animal goes for $2,500, purchased by Wisconsin Properties. And now we go to Marvin Henke. Market beef weighs $14.40, son of Michael and Melissa Henke. He is with the Golden Door 4-H.
I have to do it. So I think he's a first-year exhibitor, and his sister Madison did very well. I think she won the junior beef showmanship, and I got to announce it, and I know the mother very well. And I said, just like you said, Henke. And mother said, it's Hunky.
Hunky.
Yeah. So I just had to correct you because I got scolded myself. Right? So Marvin's, they have their own cow-calf herd. So I think this animal they're dairy farmers, and I don't think they went to a club calf sale to buy this. I think this is one they bred.
So what's the genetics on this?
They have a beef herd. What this red is in here, I don't know. You tell me if there's some limousine in there, or
I mean, it's a very nice animal.
Maybe some red Angus. It looks a little bigger frame than I think of a straight red Angus, right?
By the way, Rod Ferguson just said hanky too, but it's hunky. And the animal sells for $57.50 and purchased by Marshfield Ag Services. So not only was it unique, it got a good price.
And Melissa, the mother, she used to be the secretary of this, and she and her siblings exhibited here. So they've been at this for a long time.
This is Gracie Hasenoil. Market hog weighs 273. Daughter of Paul and Jill Hasenoil. Country Kids 4-H.
And we have more bio on Gracie.
Here we go.
Country Kids. She's going to be entering the 10th grade at Auburndale. Her pig's name is Dewey. And Gracie is the vice president of her 4-H club.
All right.
She's into cross-country, basketball, runs track, pole vaults. We just had the Olympics. We saw a lot of pole vaulters. I saw.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I've always been amazed by pole vaulters.
She enjoys showing pigs, snowmobile drag races, water skiing, riding the golf. Everyone likes riding the golf cart.
I think it's a requirement if you grow up in Auburndale, you have to play basketball, don't you?
Yeah. Well, she's got a comment on her. She must be a twin. I'm the short twin, and my sister is a taller one. Her favorite fair memory was winning grand champion 2 years ago. So we seem to be collecting people with previous history of championships. And she's won her showmanship. So she likes a stand we have on, she likes slushies. What's that one say? She likes Cindy's Spuds, which I had. Cindy's Spuds is our French fries here at the Central Wisconsin State Fair.
What is.
I think mouse ears.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Yeah. So she enjoys fair food.
There we go. It's not just for breakfast anymore. And Gracie's Animal sells for $4,900 and purchased by Power Pack. All right, now we've got Jamie Lindo in here. And a market lamb weighs 138. Jamie is, of course, the daughter of Kevin and Ann Lindo, and showing with the Marshfield FFA. Like the giraffe print shirt.
Yeah, I was wondering if it was a Holstein, but I think you're right. That's giraffe. So if you went through, I got in trouble last year because I said this incorrectly. So I want to go on the record as saying it correctly. They had hamburgers at the Marshfield FFA supplied for the meal here.
Right.
And they had brat burgers.
Right.
They had baked beans. They had potato salad. They had an ice cream sandwich, whiter chocolate milk. And they had the specialty. They had lamb meatballs.
Right. And
last year I dropped the meat in there, and I got a lot of comments the next day. So I just had to get that record that I could say it correctly now.
So not the sheep version of Rocky Mountain oysters?
No. But they were very good. I enjoyed them very much.
Yes. Whatever they're called. Animal sells for $1,500, purchased by Doyne Excavating.
But I think Mother Lindo is in charge of the recipe there. I think Ann is the...
Yeah, I think so, yeah. And her son was serving them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I asked him, I said, so how many animals do you have here? He says, Mom says too many. Lillian Griesbach, Marshfield Market Hog with the Richfield 4-H, and the hog weighs 248, daughter of Craig and Sarah Griesbach. And it sells for $4,500, purchased by Nikolai Construction. And we go to Bentley Wiskerson, son of Robert Wiskerson. It's with the Auburndale FFA, and a steer weighs 1188. And this is a Hereford.
A younger showman, I think he might be first year.
Yeah.
Big smile.
You know, it's always amazing, too, especially you get these younger kids, and they really work it with their animals. I mean, these animals are ready for the show. They stand there, look as calm as this animal is, and you just have to.
And if you don't realize, like in the beef show, it's not a rare comment, close the gates, right? Because they're big animals, and they seem to be not quite as docile as a dairy animal. And when you see a young guy like this doing a nice job with their animal, you know there's been a lot of work there.
Yep, he spent some quality time with that halter.
We had in the beef show yesterday, we had a kid lose his steer. He just kind of rolled on the ground and had to pick himself up. Basically, the steer was waiting for him when he got up, please take my strap.
Yeah, okay, come on, let's go. Let's get this over with.
Yep. Oh, we're getting a high one.
Yes. $87.50. Trek Country, the buyer. It is Rob's. Rob's son, must be grandson.
Grandson, yep.
Yeah. We have Kedrid Klum and Market Hog. Hog weighs 261, and she is the daughter of Josh and Deanna Klum with the Richfield 4-H.
Another red one.
You think somewhere Mike Lindo is smiling? They're still there.
Yep.
You know, fairs and 4-H suffered through COVID. They couldn't meet for over a year, and it hurt attendance, it hurt the clubs, and so on. Have they rebounded? Have they pretty well come back?
Well, I think we're pretty excited about our livestock projects here.
Yeah.
The barns are pretty full. And we know they're a challenging project, right? It takes total commitment. So, but no, not entirely. 4-H enrollment is down a little bit. I think if you go in the arts and crafts and stuff, there's still some outstanding quality exhibits there for sure.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I judged field crops and vegetables in Neilsville.
Okay.
And over here, this is a tough year to be in the field or the garden, right?
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people just decided not to bring, or they just said, well, no one else is going to have great stuff either. So I am also an exhibitor here, and I'm big into pumpkins.
Oh, yeah.
And I went out in the pumpkin patch. My theory is, and it's gotten weedy here. I weeded, and then now you can't tell at all that I did because I got busy doing other things. And you get in the middle of July and the weeds really grow. But I don't want to go out there and tromp on my vines.
Yes.
So I go out there entry day to discover what has happened in the pumpkin patch. And I found 2 beautiful, fully turned pumpkins, big. I was so excited. And I went to cut them off the vine, and I rolled them, and they had a large gaping hole from rotting. It's been so wet.
Sure, laying on the ground.
Yeah, so it's been a tough year.
Kendron Clum's animal sells for $4,500, purchased by Wisconsin Truck and Equipment. And then we have Kate Cordes with a market lamb weighing 153. And she is the daughter of Will and Amber Cordes. And it brings $4,300, purchased by A&B Processing. Kate's mom was over here talking to us before the sale started, and I think she's more nervous than what the daughter was.
And we met her through Farm Tech Days, I think, initially.
Well, actually, so yes, at one of the meetings at Farm Tech Days, and she was sitting at the table behind me, and I turned around and started talking to her, and she said, well, she was doing what job she had, but she was looking for a different job. And it turns out she had been a loan processor at a bank up in Cumberland.
And you were a banker
we were looking for a loan processor.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think within a week she was with us.
Yeah, so Will, the dad, is one of the herdsmen at the Marshall Ag Research Station.
Yep.
And I don't think they're showing any dairy here, but Will was out here trying to make the fair presentable for the public, picking up all the debris from the dairy show today.
Yeah.
So great guy.
Yes.
I really appreciated that.
This is Briley Lupke, market hog, weighs 246, and she is with the Pittsfield FFA, daughter of Josh and Lori Lupke. And the hog brings $47.50, purchased by Carrie. I'm thinking Carrie Ingredients. All right, then we go to Madison Honke.
Got it right.
There we go. Daughter of Michael and Melissa Honke, Golden Glow 4-H. Steer weighs 1444. And she's trying to convince the steer to come in too. I like how the steer's reacting like, nah.
But I was telling you, 90% sure she won the junior showmanship.
Did she?
So, big smile.
Yes. I'd like to.
She's happy it's set up, right? She's like,
yes.
I got him in here.
Yeah, I don't have to move him.
Melissa used to help us with the dairy show, and now she's got kids here with beef, so she hasn't. But Madison would help me hand out ribbons and stuff for a number of years.
Okay.
So I know this girl pretty well from the show ring. She's
the
smile matches the personality. So
this is a nice animal too, isn't it?
Yes. So the brother had a red one. This one's black.
This one's black. And it goes for $5,000. And it's purchased by Innovative Machine Specialties. And we go to Rose Hasenoil. And Rose has a market hog, weighs 287. Daughter of Paul and Jill Hasenoil, Country Kids 4-H. And showing Country Kids. Rose will be entering 10th grade at Auburndale High School this year. Pig's name is Joseph. Rose is president of the 4-H club. She loves cross country, basketball, track, snowmobiling, friends, pigs, and have a twin sister. No one believes me, as the other one is tall. Oh, she's the tall one.
She's
so
the tall
here's
one.
the twin sister. Okay.
And I think it's a disadvantage when you're showing a pig.
Yeah.
Right? Because she's got to kneel way over. If she does that all day, even if she's a teenager, I think her back would get sore, wouldn't it?
So her favorite fair memory was when her twin sister won grand champion. And during the sale, anyway, the price kept going up and up and up. It was amazing. And her favorite foods are slushies, mouse ears, and Andy Spuds. Cindy Spuds.
Same foods.
Yeah.
Well, I vote Cindy Spuds. So I know they're not paying for this broadcast here, but they have pretty good spuds.
Animal sells for $42.50, purchased by McMillan Electric. All right, this is Haley Burnick. And Haley is the daughter of Paul and Stephanie Burnick, North Country Line 4-H.
So over in Neilsville, your 4-H food stand is the Clark County Collective, the whole county 4-H.
Right.
Yeah, and they have a nice food stand. I patronize that a lot. I got the 4-H burger.
Well, they've got a great location.
Yeah. You got 4-H burger, and there's the Holler burger.
Yep.
They ring a bell because that's 3 patties or 4 patties or whatever if you buy that one. But they ran out by the end of the fair, but they had different sponsors. I think one's the Dairy Promotion Committee, and anyhow, they sponsor free milk.
Yep.
With every meal. That's, I think, Clark County is, by some measures, the biggest dairy county.
Right.
So I think that's a nice thing.
Yeah, that's.
But over here in Wood County, the 4-H food stand is run by one 4-H club, the Snyder 4-H Club,
right.
which is right next to Cindy Spuds.
Oh, okay. No, I know where Snyder is, so okay. Lamb sells for $2,100, purchased by Becker Trucking and Excavating. And now we have Lyra Van Hoof, daughter of Lieutenant Jeff Van Hoof, U.S. Navy, and Jackie Sternweiss with the Shady Lane 4-H, and the hog weighs 246. Yeah, the food stand. Matter of fact, that food stand was built with profits from the 2005 Wisconsin Farm Technology Day show.
Oh, and on the one end it's the 4-H food stand, and on the other end it's the
Clark County Homemakers.
HCE. So old name was Homemakers.
Right.
Ice cream stand.
Yep. So you can have your meal and dessert. But yes, that place does well.
And then the Holstein breeders sell cheese curds.
Yep. So the hog sells for $4,000, purchased by Marshfield Veterinary Service. And now we have Willow Man. Market hog weighs 269. Willow is the daughter of Andrea Mann, and she's with the Schneider 4-H.
So, a kid can, from any part of the county or even out of the county, join any of the Wood County 4-H clubs. But Snyder, this is the one that has the food stand, the club that she belongs to. They're kind of Vesper, Wisconsin Rapids centered. They still had the old Snyder school was their 4-H clubhouse.
Oh, really?
So they were one of the few clubs that still owned their clubhouse, but actually operated out of it. But a couple of years ago, it burnt. But I think they're going to raise it. I think they're going to get a new one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You think about how many 4-H clubs were named after country schools.
Yeah, the club I went to was, yeah.
That's where our club was the Prosperity Pea Pickers, and it was named after the Prosperity School.
But not the pea picker.
Well, the pea pickers, there was a canning factory in Loyal.
Oh.
And they canned peas.
Sure.
So we were the Prosperity Pea Pickers.
Yeah. And you said that fast 3 times, right?
Well, anytime the sign was just PPP. Yep. All right.
So did you exhibit peas at the fair?
No. I don't think we ever did crops. No, never did.
You were just very focused, weren't you?
Yeah, dairy, horses. that was about it. Animal sells for $3,500, purchased by Resch Companies, LLC. And now we've got Tylen Klum. He is the son of Sam and Holly Klum. Richfield 4-H, hog weighs 288. No, like I said, Danny did hogs, but
that was just his thing. Hogs were his thing.
Danny,
and he already did that as a youth?
Well, he started when he started in FFA at that time. As a freshman, you had to have
a project,
and so he got hogs. My dad had hogs when I was quite a bit younger. I can vaguely remember.
And you got out of the hogs.
And then he got out of the hogs. He had big Durocs.
Well, they used to call them, back in that era or before, they called them mortgage lifters, right?
Right, yeah.
So it was like a good return. But by the time I was, I didn't want to have hogs, but they were very difficult to make money on for many years, unless you could sell them at market sale prices, right?
I remember they were, right. And the market sales didn't exist at that time.
Right.
So Tylen, the animal sells for $3,750, purchased by V&H Auto. And now we have Maddie Bernick. And Maddie is the daughter of Jason and Leah Bernick, Golden Globe 4-H. And the steer weighs 1538. And if you know the Bernicks, you know they raise steers.
And father's on the... Well, I think they both are. I think father and mother are both on the market sale committee.
Right. Yeah, Jason and Leah are both just tremendously great people involved in things. Good folks.
We had a constitutional crisis in our market animal sale committee. So we had very little restraint on who was a member. Okay. So our member roll kept on getting larger and larger. But there was a quorum rule, and as our numbers got bigger, we were having meetings that we couldn't do anything. So we needed to encourage everybody to come to a meeting so we could change that so that we didn't have, so we could actually do some things.
Bernick's animal sells for $5,750, purchased by Scholl's Construction, LLC. And this is Aubrey Fight, daughter of Jake and Jackie Plank. Caleb Fight and Carly Knudsen, Country Kids 4-H, hog weighs 253.
So Aubrey's mother has kind of a neat career. She is a technician, I suppose would be the term, to troubleshoot your robot on your dairy farm. So I think she works with Laley's.
And that's an increasing job. Hog sells for $5,000 and purchased by Pat Richardson Milk Hauling.
Well, that's a job we didn't used to have, right?
Right. Did not exist 20 years ago, 30 years ago. This is Elise Stanton, market lamb, and the lamb weighs 153. She's the daughter of Chris and Ann Stanton, and with the Badger 4-H.
So we should go back to Aubrey. I was telling about Jackie, but we had a bio here on Aubrey as well. So Country Kids 4-H Club, entering the 6th grade, so she's got a lot of years of market sale yet. Auburndale. Her animal's name was Milky Way. It was crossbred. Her hobbies are archery, softball, 4-H, and cross country. And her favorite fair memory is barn watch at night in the pig barn, dancing to music. Dancing in the pig barn.
When you're by yourself, you can dance with the pigs. Elise's animal sells for $1,900, purchased by Wisconsin Farm Business. All right, we go to Devin Cherney, market hog, weighs 273. Devin is the son of Aaron and Carol Lee Cherney, North County Line 4-H. Yeah, you think about, when you were younger, how many times that you were in the barn alone and dancing to the radio.
And now it might be their cell phone, right?
Yeah, right, yeah. That was always the rule in our place was, as an incentive to get to the barn early in the morning, First one to the barn got to pick the radio station.
Pick the station.
Yep.
Did somebody have really bad taste?
My dad.
What do you want? Polka music or something?
Yep.
You know, at our farm, the Hispanics play the music in the milking parlor, and it sounds a lot like polka music.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, probably the Tex-Mex
It's
thing?
kind of like between country and polka.
Well, a lot of that has accordion in it, doesn't it?
Some,
There's
yeah.
a lot of Zydeco music.
There's some crooners in there, too.
Yeah. All right, and Cherney's Animal sells for $37.50, purchased by General Farm Supply out of Spencer. And now we've got Uriah Meisner, son of Jason and Jody Meisner, Golden Goal 4-H. Steer weighs 1420, dairy steer. Speaking of your farm, first off, we should congratulate you, Wisconsin Master Agriculturalist Award.
You know, the MC at that thing was just brutal.
Yeah, well, whose fault is that? That was, and thanks for recommending me for that. That was a great honor. That was, I'm looking at that crowd thinking, man, this is the who's who of the dairy industry, of agriculture.
That was a great day, wasn't
Oh
it?
my gosh, they're just, I mean, the people, you know, and agriculture is getting to be kind of a refined in that you kind of know everybody that's involved in it at a certain level.
Right.
And you look up and down the aisles and it was a who's
Room
who.
full of previous recipients.
Yes. Steer sells for $5,000, purchased by Forward Bank. And we go to Courtney Bauer, and daughter of Stephen and Becky Bauer, Golden Goal 4-H. Hog weighs 250. But certainly a high honor. And I thought...
I had, as an extension educator, the opportunity to write references and recommendations for people before. And then finally they said, well, you should apply. And I wasn't so sure I wanted to, but yes, I'm very humbled and honored to receive that. But you said it's a really neat, impressive group of people who have gone before.
Well, and I think you also kudos in that you credited your family, you credited your sons.
Well, I have one son that has he's here right now, but he's not as actively involved with the farm as he used to be. And the other son is making it all possible that I can still work in extension, and he just would not co-share that recognition.
Okay.
So I had to make the point that I wouldn't be able to be operating the way I am without, you know, and I think sometimes too many families don't pass that torch as easily. So I'll give myself a little credit there. I was very willing to do some passing there, right? But he's doing a great job. Killing flies.
Things you never didn't even know were a problem.
Yeah.
We had Meisner's Animal sells for there we go, $4,000. Nasonville Dairy, and now we have. We had Courtney Bauer. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was Courtney Bauer.
Courtney Bauer sold for $4,000. Meisner sold for $5,000.
Yep.
There we go, $5,000. That was purchased by Forward Bank. All right, and now we have Noah Wellock and a market lamb, son of Bill and Heather Wellock. This is with the Richfield 4-H. The lamb weighs 121, and it just sold for $2,200. And it was purchased by Wisconsin Moss. That's a new one. I have not heard of Wisconsin Moss before. All right, we've got Macy Becker. Macy has a market hog, weighs 262. Daughter of Steve and Shelley Becker. She's with the Country Kids. She is with the Country Kids 4-H.
Macy Becker, we have a bio. I've found a pattern here. I told you earlier I thought they were all those showmanship winners.
Okay.
No, they're all members of the Auburndale School District. Mr. Canoyer.
And that's why Mark Canoyer told me about this.
Yes. Mark Canoyer is the chairman of the Market Sale Committee. He had to deal with the constitutional crisis I'm telling you about. But the market sale, I mean, it was not due to lack of interest. It was due to a lot of interest.
Yeah.
And our Market Sale Committee is doing a fabulous job, and Mark's doing a great job. But anyhow, here on Macy Becker, we're always getting the name of the pig. This pig's name is Woody. And you should guess what breed is this pig?
Well, I'd say spotted.
Yeah, we're calling it a spot. Yep. And Macy is also in 4-H, helps with many Auburndale FFA events, plays basketball, and Macy loves cats. So I think it's interesting if you love cats, because her favorite fair memory is eating mouse ears. And she likes slushies. So these are real-to-life farm kids here that are enjoying their fare.
So thanks to the Auburndale FFA. Animal sells for $4,700, purchased by Westside Auto Body of Auburndale. Now we have Nora Meisner, daughter of Jason and Jody Meisner, Golden Goal 4-H, steer weighs 1660.
So you know Virgil Voigt? Clark County. Virgil Voigt many years was a nutrition consultant at the Roselleville feed mill, the FS feed mill.
Oh, yes, sure. Yep, okay.
Big man.
Yep.
And a bit of big Heather Wallach, that Noah Wallach, that Heather is Virgil's daughter.
Oh, really?
And she's, what is she, probably rabbit superintendent?
I think so, yeah.
And she's also on our market sale committee.
Involved in many different levels. Animal sells for $5,500, purchased by Rev Cycle Incorporated. And now we have Ella Cramp. Ella is a market hog, weighs 246, daughter of Kirk Cramp and Amy Bethard, Shady Lane 4-H.
So I'm going to miss on the day, but it was called Rev Cycle? Rev Cycle.
Rev Cycle. Yep, still up there.
Yeah. We're moving right along.
I'm just trying to think if that's a kind of a toy on recycle or...
Well, I wasn't going to go further, but Clark County Extension and Clark County government in general is involved with, the day is early in September.
Oh, it used to be Alliance Collections.
Okay. Clean Sweep is coming to Clark County.
Right.
That's Rev Cycle got me to Clean Sweep.
All right. Ella Cramp's animal sells for $3,500, purchased by Nelson Jameson. And now we have Rylan Daniel. A market lamb, weighs 128. Rylan is the daughter of Jimmy and Taylor Daniel with Golden Glow 4-H.
Yeah, even with a little sheep, it weighs more than the exhibitor. Right?
She is working hard to set that lamb.
Rylan is a small-sized person.
Isn't that a great picture, though?
Yeah.
This is a once in a lifetime experience.
Now,
for
Ryland sheep is, you can tell, is not full Suffolk. It's got some gray. It's still got a black face, but it's got some
gray around the horns.
Right.
So why do they clip and leave the wool on the legs?
I wish we had like Ann Lindo here to tell us about that. But I think it's showing a little more thickness to the animal. You know, you like just above that is the leg of lamb, right?
Right.
And I think the impression is that it's showing more fullness in the rear quarters.
Makes it stand out more. Lamb sells for $2,200, and it was purchased by Merit Electric Service. And now we go to Hobson Harches, son of Jay Harches and Michelle Turbin Harches. He's a member of the Badger 4-H. Hog weighs 245 pounds.
Badger 4-H is a big livestock project club. I don't think it's a huge club, but it's almost a requirement you should be in the market animal sale type activity. It's so I see some of these kids get further away, but historically it's been a Rudolph area club.
Yep.
And over the years it's been a pretty good dairy club as well.
So is Roselleville Rocket still going?
Oh, strong. I'd say very good.
Say we haven't
in
had
our dairy show today, we had a lot of Roselleville Rockets.
We didn't have any here yet, have we?
In the market sale?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe not.
Animal sells for $3,500 and purchased by Econ Electric. And now we go to Zachary Bauer. I was just a page ahead of myself. Zachary has a market hog, weighs 270. He's with the Golden Glow 4-H. And he is son of Stephen and Becky Bauer. He's a tall guy.
I just recommended him to his family, to Danielle Nauman. She's you were a media guy all your life. You're supposed to be able to tell me who Danielle is.
Danielle Nauman?
Yeah, she's a writer for Dairy Star, which is a publication that it's kind of like Ag Review, Country Today, Wisconsin State Farmer, but it is they restrict themselves only to talk about dairy. Mm-hmm. No cherries in Door County unless they also have a dairy farm. And she wanted a good, strong 4-H family, and the Bauers are dairy farmers, but they don't show dairy. So,
got it.
So that's I expect an article in Dairy Star on this family soon.
Yeah, familiar with Dairy Star, but personnel has changed in the brief time I've been out of radio.
Well, actually, Danielle bought the barn from the deceased gentleman that this building is named after.
Oh,
Jerry Lang. So that's just on the outskirts of Marshfield.
Sure.
So, and we're glad for her reporting. We're so close nearby. So.
Bauer's animal sells for $4,000, purchased by Quality Electrical Solutions. And now we have Lane Miller. Lane is the son of Sean and Kendra Miller, and with the Webster 4-H, and the steer weighs 1286.
This is a well-controlled steer.
But again, a red one.
Yeah, I think we got some red Angus in there, don't we?
Yeah, Angus build. So it sells for $5,000. Masonville Dairy with another buy. And we go to Carson Klum, market hog from the Richfield 4-H. Hog weighs 271. Market Carson is the son of Josh and Deanna Klum.
So I think a lot of 4-Hers in Wood County would know this, but just 4-H trivia for us. The oldest 4-H club in Wood County is the Richfield 4-H Club.
Okay.
Yeah, so south of Marshfield, we have a township of Richfield, and we have a corner intersection that it's not the village. I don't think it even has a sign, but that's
at Richfield.
Yeah. So this, I don't know if there was a Richfield school too, like you were saying, but it certainly continues as an area.
It would certainly lend itself to a school.
Yeah.
It's far enough out from Marshfield that it's. But yes, I remember for years Ken's Economy sales at Richfield.
Yes. Did a lot of small engine repair.
Yeah. Klum's animal sells for $47.50, purchased by iState Truck Center and Assembly Systems. And now we go to Bella Schill. Bella, daughter of Kevin and Sandy Schill, Richfield 4-H, and a lamb weighing 133. You think about these little towns, and every county has those. There are some that are not even in existence anymore.
Right.
I think of Spokeville was southeast of Loyal, and that was at one time, of course, had a store and a feed mill. But yeah, how many of these? You couldn't drive to Marshfield, so you had a store at Richfield.
Right.
Oh, it is just a perfect night here, isn't it? This is big.
Beautiful. You know, the fair depends a lot on good attendance.
Yes.
And good attendance depends a lot on weather.
Yep.
And I think we're keeping our fingers crossed because I think it looks like they're going to get pretty lucky this year.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a pretty nice forecast. Animal sells for $2,100, and it was purchased by Next Gen Agronomy. I remember years ago when we were working on the Farm Technology Days, the Malm Show, 2005, and Glenn Thompson was general manager at the time. And Glenn said,
They had helicopters hauling people away because it was so hot, right?
that was hot that year, yeah. But I always remember Glenn saying, in the end, your show is going to be remembered for two things, food and the weather.
Right? Well, you know, we have a nice office area for our extension group, and I think not that there aren't other questions, but probably one of our most asked questions is, where is the bathroom? Right?
All right, this is Parker Burgess, Market Hog. He is from the North County Line 4-H. Parker, son of Robert and Ricky Grossel.
But yeah, I think your Clark County at Malm's, that was incredibly hot.
Yes, it was. Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
And now, well, I don't know about this year. I didn't go. You were there. But the most recent ones have had chilling rooms if you're feeling heat exhaustion, right?
Yeah.
You didn't have that back then, did you?
No. Matter of fact, the last day of the Malm show, at that time, the media center was an air-conditioned trailer. I was busy in the media center most of the day.
It was a survival mechanism.
As was Al Ott, who was chairman of the Assembly Ag Committee at the time.
So you were networking with some pretty important
and Ben
political
Bransel.
people.
And Ben, so the three
Secretary of
of us.
Agriculture.
Yeah, so we were sitting in there, and at one point, Ott was supposed to be taking care of his grandson or granddaughter, and his daughter came in and told him in no uncertain terms, maybe outside of his family you're a big deal, but here your grandpa, get your butt out here.
Yeah.
So Parker Burgess Animal sells for $3,200, purchased by A&B Processing. And this is Dylan Bangert, son of Rick and Peggy Bangert. Remember the Marshfield FFA? Steer weighs 1388.
So I was took a few moments away. It's actually one of my break nights. Last night was it's a big deal here. They had this place as full, maybe fuller as it is now. Dress a Cow, which is a Jerry Lang. He started it, but they take dairy exhibit animals and they have a leadsman and two assistants and a theme, and they decorate cows, and then the judges vote, and that Marshfield FFA, he was, I saw pictures, this Dylan Bangert was, what was he, kind of a punk, it was a music theme last night, so some people were disco and stuff. He had a big black wig and a gold chain, and the shirt was open. And
I remember years ago being asked to judge this. By the way, his animal sells for $4,000, purchased by Nasonville Dairy. All right, we have chickens, ducks. So what kind of ducks are these?
Oh, I don't know. They got big poofy heads, don't they?
Yeah, they do. Ducks with afros.
They're black ducks.
So this is for the junior fair?
Yes. So, that's probably a story. We haven't covered it all tonight. But I think why we have all these good prices from all these buyers is this money is mainly going back to the youth, and we know that they've worked hard, and a lot of them are going to go on to college, and they have lots of good reasons to use this money. So I think a lot of people like the idea of helping them. But the other part would be to tell here is some of that money, there is a commission kept, and that's how they keep on making improvements here at the fair. And the market sale committee is kind of a separate branch from the rest of the fair, but obviously the fair, junior fair, needs funds too, and that's where the duck money goes.
Yep. Ducks sold for $1,000 and purchased by Gardner Cold Storage. They'll be on ice tomorrow.
I live right next to one of their cold storages, and they're expanding, so I'm thinking there's room for the ducks.
They built on a duck wing. All right, this is Ryan Fight, and Market Hog weighs 255, and son of David and Jody Fight. Yes, Gardner Cold Storage is. I remember years ago doing a dairy breakfast, and they first built that shed across from your place.
Yep.
And that was a good-sized shed.
And it's like a tiny component of it now.
It's just buried in there somewhere.
Yeah.
It's just like, my gosh.
And then when you were there, they didn't have the sweetened dried cranberry and juice concentrate unit in town, which also has a lot of cold storage.
We toured that a few years ago when I was with Brownfield, and World Dairy Expo was coming up. By the way, the animal sells for $2,900, purchased by MCHS Foundation. And we go to Jason Schreiner. Jason with the Marshfield FFA, a market lamb, weighs 128. Jason is the son of Mike and Nicole Schreiner. And so anyway, one of the farm broadcasters from Jefferson City, which is where Brownfield is based, was going to come up to help cover World Dairy Expo. But she says, I want to see cranberries. So I
2 hours away.
Yeah, so I called Todd Planer. And so Todd made arrangements. Friday morning, we drove up to Gardner Cold Storage. And Butch met us. And I mean,
he gave you a heck of a tour, didn't he?
Oh, my gosh. And I mean, this guy, his phone was ringing constantly because we're in the middle of harvest. So all the cranberries are coming in. But he had all the time in the world for us.
Yeah, he's good with tours. Yeah.
My gosh. You know, and then at one point, he's talking, and the farm broadcaster from Missouri, her husband drove up because he wanted to see this too. She flew in, he drove up after a while. And so at one point Butch says, well, you need to have some cranberry juice to take with you. So he goes running, and he comes back with a cart stacked with cranberry juice.
A lot of cranberry.
A lot of it. And then just before they leave, well, you need some dried cranberries. And so he goes running again, comes back with a 50-pound box. But yes, we toured. We were out in the fields, we didn't put the waders on.
And Expo is harvest time.
Yep. All right, this is Logan Canoyer, son of Mark and Kelly Canoyer, and the hog weighs 270 pounds. Logan is showing with Webster 4-H. And it goes for $4,000, purchased by McMillan Electric. All right, now we go to Raya Forst, and she is the daughter of Randy and Amy Forst, and this happens to be Chuck Reith's granddaughter.
Okay. So you know that one.
Yep. Shady Lane 4-H. Hog weighs 272.
Chuck, the Farm Tech Day Clark County chairman?
Twice.
Yep.
He chaired the...
So he's not a very good decision maker. Why would you want to do that twice?
I don't know. And after the Malm show, I told him, Chuck, this was fun. This was great. Let's never do this again.
Never again.
And then 17 years later, he's calling. What do you say we do this again?
Is that how far apart they were? It was 17 years?
Yep. 17 years to the day.
Oh, we had them the same day?
Yep. Yeah, they were the same days. It was July 13th, 12, 13, and 14.
So this year was unusually late.
Yes,
Recently,
August.
in recent history, it's always been in July.
Right, I think the bylaws are it has to be in July now, but they made an exception here because of the Northern Wisconsin State Fair,
Okay.
and so it would have conflicted with that. So the hog sells for $3,900, purchased by SNR Truck. And now we go to Hope Gensko, market beef weighing 1210. Hope is daughter of Jason and Amy Gensko. So no, Chuck, right after the Malm show, he wanted to do this. Matter of fact, he came knocking on my door one day, and it's like, hey, let's do the 2018 show. And you'd already talked to me, and I said, no, Wood County's going to go for it. Okay, then we won't. Well, then it came back in 2022.
Yeah. Well, as long as we're on Farm Tech Days, it's since this last, we lost our chairman from the Wood County.
Right, Dennis.
Last year, I think they raised some funds to help defray Dennis Bangert's medical costs, and he was still well enough to appreciate it. They did a camera of the room,
Right.
and he was very moved. We had a hell of a Farm Tech Days.
Oh, gosh. Oh,
And
yep.
Dennis was a lot of the reason why.
Well, I think, as part of that committee, but you, Dennis, Mike Sable, and Bruce Thorson, the four of you were the key elements, the key players.
You were right in there.
Well, but and it was a tremendous crew. Matter of fact, when I didn't get involved in the 2020 or the 22 show because I was just coming off the 18 one, and I don't want to do this again.
Yeah.
Well, then in the end, I got talked into it, but we turned to the Wood County people for help.
Well, I think there's a lot of pent-up desire there. We had Farm Technology Days before. It was Farm Progress Days.
Right.
In 1960.
Right.
So I think a lot of people, you see what this community can pull off here tonight in this night.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of, we can do this, a lot of pride.
And one thing that besides, excuse me, the executive committee and the chairs that we turned around and pulled, and those chairs all took ownership of their respective areas. And the other thing that amazed me was the people in the town of Richfield all bought into this. They were in. I mean, if you ask anything of anybody, yep, what do you need? They were terrific. So, catch you up on the animals here. We had, we had Hope Gensko, and her animal sold for $37.50, purchased by Polo Trucking. And then we had Adelina Harches, and a hog weighing 245. That sold for $37.50.
Oh, yeah.
And this is Jasmine Andries. Market lamb, weighs 136. She's with the Richfield 4-H. She is the daughter of Kurt and Angie Andries. And it sells for $1,800. Purchased by Recycle Incorporated.
So we didn't know who Recycle was. Now we learned who they used to be, right? Yeah.
The artist formerly known as Prince. All right, now we got Justin Fight. Justin has a market hog, weighs 268. He's with the Golden Glow 4-H, and he is the son of David and Jody Fight.
Say, we are competing against the Democrat National Convention.
Yes. Yep.
I don't know, when you said formerly known as Prince, I was thinking about X, formerly known as Twitter, and our former president who liked to use that media. So we got a interesting 70-some days ahead of us.
Oh, this is yep. Somebody said once, it's amazing we're in the shape we're in, considering we're saved every 4 years. So
this is a pretty tall one here we got.
Fight's animal sells for $4,000, and it was purchased by General Farm Supply. And now we go to Pierce Weigel, a dairy beef weighing 1538. Pierce is with the Marshfield FFA, son of Donald and Roxanne Weigel.
both the exhibitor and the animal are taller than average, I would say.
That animal's up there. What is it? 1538.
So it's a dairy beef. So we expect tall. But it's not black and white Holstein. Right? So probably red and white
I was
Holstein.
going to say there's red and white in there.
But they don't have to be 100% pure Holstein, and the other part, some part can be, depends on which show you go to. Wisconsin State Fair, I guess they do have to be pure Holstein. A lot of fairs, dairy beef, and I think we've talked about this other years. So many Holsteins now are getting bred to Angus to make certified Angus black beef. And where do they fit in this program here at this, because it's that's why we have dairy beef, because there's so many Holstein steers. But now there's also so many beef times dairy steers.
Right.
And we don't really bring those routinely here.
You don't have a class for them right now. Animal sells for $47.50, purchased by Weiler Concrete and Excavating. All right, this is Kylan Lupke, Pittsville FFA, daughter of Josh and Lori Lupke. And the hog weighs 263. And that is something that's really come on. As an ag loan officer, we talk to people about, okay, what's your replacement weight? Well, if you're replacing 20%, so breed your top 20% of your dairy cows to the high quality bulls, sex semen, and everything else to beef.
Right.
All right, and
but now they're worth $800 to $900 at a week of age.
Yeah.
So they're this spring, the winter, the milk check wasn't very exciting, but people could still cheer about the
beef price.
Yeah.
Animal sells for $4,500, purchased by Power Pack Incorporated, and now we go to Allison Knetter, Market Lamb. She's with the Roselvo Rockets. Lamb weighs 131. She's the daughter of Sonia and Troy Knetter. What really is amazing is, of course, beef numbers are still, I think, down in general, because part of the problem is anything they can send to the market, they're sending to the market.
Oh, it perpetuates itself.
Right.
Yeah. So they talk about when is the rebuild going to happen.
Right.
So what we're talking about the rebuild of is the beef cow, the beef mama population is low. And it was earlier, there was low profitability, but now they're so valuable that let's sell them. But you wouldn't know it from the weather here in Wisconsin, but a lot of the reason for this low population is cows out on the Texas Panhandle or wherever where there was no rain.
No grass.
And they had to sell those cows.
Yep.
So they're hesitant because they're not sure that they're back in a normal rain cycle yet. So the word is that, because everyone, how long is this going to last? Well, apparently it's probably going to last at least as long as whatever you're buying right now, right?
Yeah.
But, there are ways to spread your risk. You can contract things ahead, which you should if you're going to be buying $800 and $900 calves at a week old.
Well, and especially if you're financed, your banker's going to want it locked in.
You think?
Yes, I know. Catch up here quick and all right, there was Roselvo Rockets. We did not catch a price on that one from Allison Knetter.
Our conversation was so enthralling
that even Sheila was in on it.
Apologies to Allison that we don't know your price.
Keegan Tritz, Market Hog, from the Webster 4-H, weighed 249. Parents are Craig and Daily Tritz, and that sells for $4,000, purchased by Simplicity Credit Union. And now we've got Lucas Bernick in here. Lucas is the son of Jason and Leah Bernick, Golden Glow 4-H, and another of their dairy steers at $15.30.
So, it's about, I don't think it's more than 10 years ago that we had so few dairy beef that we weren't sure we should continue it as a division.
Right.
No, I said I think we had 4 weight classes, 5 animals per class, 20 animals. But you see a whole bunch of them say Golden Glow 4-H. And a bunch of them also say Marshfield FFA. So a few parents, a few individuals really committed to this project, and we have a thriving dairy beef project again.
And of course the Burnings, big players.
Big part of that,
right.
Yeah.
Sells for $5,000, purchased by Short Lane Ag Supply. And of course the Burnings are Columbus students, so they wouldn't be in Marshfield FFA.
Right.
All right.
And they live in that, so they actually live in Clark County. And I think you and I have talked about this before. Marshfield, the city limits extends into Marathon County, and the school district extends into Marathon and Clark County. And so this fair borrows a lot from surrounding, because we're actually not a very big county compared to Marathon and Clark. So we get a lot of kids. You were asking about Roselleville Rockets. They draw well in the Marathon County because they meet physically in Marathon County.
There was Isaac Burdan, market hog rather, and it weighed 274. Son of Jason and Michelle Burdan, Roselleville Rockets, sells for $4,000, and it was purchased by Trinity Construction. And now we go to Justine Lindo, daughter of Kevin and Ann Lindo, Golden Glow 4-H, and a lamb weighs 131. Well, Burnix, I believe that their house is actually in the Loyal School District. There's kind of a quirk.
Yep.
So the Burnick Farm is in Spencer School District, and Shane's house is east of the farm.
Yeah, with the school.
All right, and the lamb sells for $1,400. And purchased by Two Dock Livestock. We go to Coleman Becker. Coleman is the son of Steve and Shelley Becker, member of the Auburndale FFA, and the hog weighs 245.
Coleman will be entering 11th grade. His pig's name is Leslie. It is also a spot. And Coleman is in football, wrestling, Auburndale FFA president, Country Kids 4-H Club, and he enjoys hunting, fishing, operating combine, and big square baler. So he likes to do some custom work, I think.
Yeah.
And his favorite ag memory is when he attended his first state FFA convention, and they got lost on their way home and ended up at the circus in Baraboo. It sounds like maybe a Mr. Knoyer thing.
It was Knoyer driving. He was probably talking to somebody.
He probably wasn't getting lost. He just wanted to go to Circus World, right?
Hey, this looks cool. So his hog sells for $47.50, purchased by Weiler Transportation. We go to Trina Boris, daughter of Terry and Lori Boris, Snyder 4-H. Hog weighs 252. Talk about the FFA convention. So a lot of years they'll have usually the national president, if not the national president, a national officer at the convention, and then they'll have visiting states here as well. And so the timekeeper, I was judging one of the speaking contests, and the timekeeper was a state officer from Michigan. And anyway, she got talking about how big, she was surprised at how small the Wisconsin convention was, that Michigan's is a lot bigger. And I thought, well, Wisconsin's really big in FFA. Yeah, but their FFA convention is during the school year.
Oh, so it's an opportunity to get out of regular classes.
Get out of school. So so I thought, well, I'm sure if you moved to Wisconsin, you'd get a lot more too.
So you were taking offense at that, to think that anything was bigger in Michigan, right?
I don't know if their FFA, I don't know how big their FFA is. Trina's Animal sells for $3,800, and it was purchased by Rush Companies. And now we go to Sawyer Ambling, Gonna have to help me with that one there, Matt. Is it Amberley?
Yeah, I was commenting on that when we saw that in the beef, and I think you said it right. No one, I announced it that way. No one said it was wrong.
Son of Kin and Harley Amberling, Marshfield FFA member, and beef weighs 1250, and this one's a Hereford. We were talking about your farm. You have another special event coming up here with the Professional Dairy Producers and the Towns Association.
Yes. So, Professional Dairy Producers, sometimes they add the W of Wisconsin, have teamed up for a number of years now with Wisconsin Towns Association, so municipal townships, and Wisconsin Counties Association, and they put on some meetings called ACE, and the acronym is Agriculture, Communication, and Engagement. I think that's what it is. Anyhow, Paul Lippert, the son we've been talking about, is on the PDPW board, and I think they twisted his arm pretty hard it's not at our home farm. A neighbor that went out of business, he acquired the farm, and we hire almost all our custom farming, but this farm had a really big, impressive shop and machine shed. Big. And so it's really good for meetings. So that's next week, Tuesday. It's an evening program. It's aimed at, if you're I think anybody's welcome, but if you're on a town board or county board or work as a county employee, there's going to be a great number of topics about what's involved in agriculture and municipal government and so forth, and you can ask your questions there. So I think the big benefit that we provided is a big shed.
Well, but you're giving tours of the farm too, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now this is, but you're giving tours of the heifer setup? Is that what
right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
He's been asking me about a tram, so I don't know if there's it's like 2 miles.
Okay.
But we're from the main dairy. So I don't think, even though it's Tuesday, I don't think we have everything resolved yet.
All right, catch up here. We had Sawyer Amling, and the steer sold for $5,000, purchased by Nasonville Dairy. And then Allie Moore, market hog weighing 265, Marshfield FFA, daughter of Ryan and Andrea Moore, and that sold for $3,200, purchased by Lynn Dairy. And now we have Micah Stanton, with the Badger 4-H, lamb weighing 132. Micah is the son of Chris and Ann Stanton. That sells for $1,800, and it was purchased by Matthews Electric Service. And now we've got Anna Cherney. Anna's daughter of Aaron and Carolee Cherney, North County Line 4-H. Hog weighs 276. I've been to several of these meetings like this, and they're really interesting. Number one, you get the tour of the farm. The Pysics hosted it last year, and they've got, of course, that vector feeding system from Laley.
Right.
So that was interesting to see. I was trying to, anyway, over the years, but the conversations get to be really good because you have people from the Towns Association there, people from the agriculture industry, and so they've all been some really good meetings.
Well, in recent years there have been the rules for farm equipment going on highways.
Yeah, husbandry, yep.
Yep. So that was a big one, and I don't think I said that was a big one. I think it still is because farms are continuing to grow in size and be like ours, multiple sites, and that also means that they're using roads more, right? And of course, municipalities are concerned about how much it costs to maintain their roads. And on our farm, we've addressed that as we're working on it all the time. We're trying to do more, we call it drag lining. So instead of putting manure in a big slurry wagon and making a smelly, big, bulky piece of equipment going down the road, it goes through a tube that's pumping the manure, and you actually drill under roads so you don't contribute to traffic at all. It's actually better for the farmer too because those big wagons compact the soil a lot, and that's not good for growing crops.
Right.
So that's one part of things that have come together. It's better for the highways. It's better for the people driving on the highways. It's actually better for the farmer.
So. Yeah. All right, Alana Cherney's Market Hog sells for, let's see, Alana Cherney we had $42.50, purchased by Dairy State Cheese. And then we had Logan Boone Market Beef weighing $13.38, the other of Eric and Leah Boone. And that animal sells for $5,000, purchased by Macmillan Electric. And now we have Jace Forrest in here, Market Hog, and son of Randy and Amy Forrest. Shady Lane 4-H, hog weighs 284.
So I've been mowing a lot of lawn to try to be presentable for that event. And it's been raining way too much. So on a rain day, you can't mow the lawn, and the grass just grows faster.
Yeah.
It's just like a nightmare.
I was thinking of farmers that always host dairy breakfast. They say you should do that every 10 years.
Clean out the shed.
You got to clean out the shed.
Or maybe tear the shed down.
Yeah. Nothing a good fire couldn't fix. All right, and Force Hog sells for $3,500, and it was purchased by Custom Fabricating and Repair. And now we go to Jenna Lindo, daughter of Kevin and Ann Lindo, and a lamb weighing 149 with the Marshfield FFA.
So thank you for helping me make awareness of that event, but the story gets more than that. So since the shed is going to be cleaned up, the Wood County Farm Bureau has, instead of renting and paying meals at different venues for their annual meetings, they've been moving out to cranberry marshes that have big sheds.
Oh, sure.
And getting someone to cater or whatever for their annual meeting. And it's annual meeting season.
Yep.
So on Thursday after the ACE event at the same site, we're hosting the Wood County Farm Bureau annual meeting. And then on Friday, because we haven't done it for a while, and it's still all set up, we're having a Wood County Holstein Breeders Twilight meeting. And we're advertising in the Pittsville Record that that's open. You don't have to be a municipal official or whatever. It's open to friends and neighbors as well. So we got, I don't know, maybe a few people will come between all three.
When people pull campers in next Tuesday,
well,
you've got a wedding barn in the making here.
You know Kim Bremer.
Oh, sure.
She's been invited to be the speaker at the Farm Bureau annual meeting, and she's our area district rep for this central Wisconsin area for Farm Bureau. Mm-hmm. So we have been talking about she might want to camp. And she's from Loyal, right?
Right. Yep. Lives right in Loyal. All right. And Jenna's lamb sells for $1,400, purchased by Able Club Lambs. And now we've got Turner's Southwick. Market Hog weighs 273. Turner's with the Roselvo Rockets, the son of Kyle and Jessica Southwick. I like the smile.
Someone told him he should smile.
Yep, got to smile. Got to look happy up there. And I think I told you this in past years, but one of the years at Clark County, a couple of high school guys went to St. Vincent de Paul and bought loud three-piece suits for the sale.
Yeah.
And so one guy all of a sudden comes out, and so I'm standing in the announcer's stand, and my brother's alongside of me as the auctioneer, and they're coming up on the other side, and all of a sudden my brother goes, "Oh my."
Oh my.
And here's this Adam Smith, who stood about 6'2", had a big afro, and he's got a canary yellow three-piece suit on to sell his hog. He got a lot of money for his thing.
It worked.
Oh, it did. And another guy had a powder blue one.
Yeah.
All right, and lost track of where we were here.
Did we do the bottom one on the page?
Yeah, Turner Southwick. So okay. Turner Southwick brought 3250, purchased by First Choice Post Solutions, Pest Solutions. And now we've got, this is Emma Cunninger, daughter of Dan and Megan Cunninger, Marshfield FFA. Steer weighs 1280. You're right, this is stapled on the wrong side.
Yeah. Just because you've been used to the other way all your life.
The papers are stapled on the other corner, and we're just having issues with it. But we work cheap.
Oh, so Emma Cunninger, I don't have a bio on her, but she was one of those that was up in the beginning, I think right before we were broadcasting.
One of the showmen.
That was the Supreme Showman contest between the beef, sheep, and swine.
And we brought 4,500, purchased by General Farm Supply. All right. And this is Maya Knoyer, daughter of Mark and Kelly, Webster 4-H, and hog weighs 283. $3,500. And Nathan Valderi with another buy. Now Haley Bry, daughter of Adam and Ashley Freund and Jacob Bry, Country Kids 4-H. And the lamb weighs 134, Haley Bry.
So in Neilsville, is it the third year now, at least the second, that you've got goats in your market animal sale?
It's at least the third year.
Yeah.
And chickens, the grand champion and reserve champion chicken.
That's a new thing too?
Yeah.
But you had at least like half a dozen goats this year.
Yeah, market goats.
So that is... I keep on telling him to do otherwise, but it's the fourth year in a row that I judge the goats. In
it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and I'm qualified to judge dairy goats, but it's a little more questionable. I just kind of place them opposite way when I come to do meat goats, right? But that's where a lot of the growth in this goat business is boar breeding, these big meat goats. There's some ethnic groups that want them, and
yeah, the Middle East countries, I mean, anybody with Middle East background.
Yeah. So we had over 70 between companion, dairy, and meat-type goats. We had like 72 goats at Neilsville this last year.
Wow.
So they had a whole barn. They had their whole own barn.
Which barn were they in?
What would be what they remodeled of the old hog barn?
Oh,
about the east side of the fairgrounds.
Yeah, what remains of that? Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the goat barn.
Oh, I never made it down there. Haley Bry's animal sells for $1,850, purchased by Legend Seeds, and now we have Macy Close, daughter of Scott and Carrie Close, Marshfield FFA. Hog weighs 292, and that is animal number 100 in the sale. Goes to Cropping Central. And now we've got Morgan Griesbach, the market hog, weighs 259. She's a member of the Town and Country 4-H, daughter of Wesley and Marcy Griesbach. And what Rod's reading off right now is a tradition in these sales too, is a lot of the buyers then turn around and donate the animal. They might donate it to the FFA or the FFA alumni or National Farm Medicine Center's annual banquet.
So living in Pittsville, I nearly always attend and buy at the Pittsville FFA alumni meat auction, which is often it's often November, I think October, November before they get to that. But there's a nice meal served, and the prices are actually really good, and it's a lot of camaraderie. They do the same thing in Auburndale. I think Marshfield, the ones they get donated, they put it out to the other teachers in the school district, and the teachers buy them.
Okay.
And then you could tell me a little more about Farm Medicine Center makes a pretty big deal out of it.
Oh, sure, the Auction of Champions. That's a tradition that started. Les Leonard and Jack Hackman kind of got that going back.
So it's almost as old as the sale.
Right, back when Dr. Dean Emanuel was real active with the National Farm Medicine.
It's kind of a black tie or dress-up event, certainly, right?
Oh, it is, and it's it's really quite nice. Catch up on the sale here. Closest animal sells for $52.50, purchased by DQ Farms, and now we've got Nolan Pongratz in here with a dairy beef weighing $13.15. Nolan is the son of John and Carrie Pongratz. National Farm Medicine Center. The tickets, you buy a ticket to get there. They have all sorts of prizes, and it's just quite.
But it raises a lot of money.
It raises a lot of money, and
so
you might, and there's some things you bid. You might get a box of bones, or you might get steaks, and boy, I remember for years. You got a car. There was a grand, and you could buy your way in again, and yeah, it's a big deal. And
so the benefit to communities and youth and Farm Medicine Center, which is certainly a great cause, multiplies. This is a great thing right here in by itself, but what becomes of it?
The ripple effect.
Yeah.
Yep.
From little guys like this buying a pig.
Yeah. So Nolan Pongratz animal sells for $42.50, purchased by Hewitt's Meat Processing. And now we have Henry King. Henry is the son of Corbin and Jackie King. He's with Snyder 4-H, and a hog weighs 286. I love the smile on these young guys. They just get up there and grin.
And some of them are going to have become attached to their pig.
Oh, yes.
And that's another lesson they're learning, is that it's going to become pork chops, right?
It's the tough reality of agriculture.
Right.
But yeah, you think about how much time they have spent with these animals over the last 6 months, 8 months.
I did have a lady on the grounds today, I think, asking me if she could bid here and if it had to go to slaughter or if she could take one home. I was like, well, there have been rules at times that pigs had to be a terminal show.
Because of disease problems.
Right. But in general, they all get slaughtered. And that would be quite a lesson to buy one of these and just keep it as a forever pet, wouldn't it?
What are you doing with that Angus? Bought it at the fair. So Henry King's animal sells for $37.50, purchased by Doorworks Incorporated. And now we've got Madison Abel. Madison is the daughter of Chris and Tanya Abel, Marshfield FFA. Lamb weighs 141. There was a time, too, especially when, like, we sold rabbits, the champion and reserve champion rabbits at Clark County, and people would buy them and then give the rabbit back to the kid.
Yeah.
And that, they put a stop to that. It's like, no, if it's going through the sale, it's the market animal.
Yeah.
And it's got to go. All right, Madison Abel's animal sells for $2,400, and that goes to Complete Control Solutions. Jacob Boris, and Jacob is the son of Carrie and Lori Boris, Snyder 4-H. Hog weighs 274. But yeah, I don't know, somebody bought a lamb, put it in the back of the car, go home.
It's not a recommendation. So I don't want to go too deep in the details because I didn't. There is a publication we make here which is things that every exhibitor needs to know. But there are a lot of details to these projects. Like we don't have a weigh-in anymore, but we used to have a weigh-in that on that given day in November. It used to be, I think it was before deer hunting for steers, or end of April for pigs and beginning of June for lambs, that they'd have to come to the fairground and get weighed. But they still have to get their ear tags and collect a hair sample just in case we want to do a DNA test. So there's that documentation way back then that these youth are involved in these projects. They have to attend a number of educational meetings. They have to make a minimum weight. They did get weighed here on Monday at entry day. We can't do a rate of gain thing anymore because we don't know their initial weight. But there's a lot of criteria involved to get here.
Yeah, you don't just show up at the fair. Jacob Boer's animal sells for $3,200, purchased by Ritchie Funeral Home. And now we've got Caleb Pankratz. Caleb is the son of John and Carrie Pankratz, Golden Glow 4-H, and the steer weighs 1460.
So we're kind of farm boys. I guess Sheila not as much. The steer made a turn and almost coughed, and we almost had cow pie here at our table. I think she said, "Oh my Lord." And then it smells a little more fragrant right now.
You learn when a cow coughs. Look out. The animal guilty of this just sold for $4,500 to Lynn Dairy. All right, we go to...
You'll still come back.
Could be worse, could be us.
It was a miss. We didn't get...
Yeah, next. We used to sit way in the back. Maybe we want to go back there again. Is that it?
Go ahead.
Delaney Close with a market hog. She's with Golden Glow 4-H, Marshfield FFA, and the hog weighs 247. Daughter of Scott and Carrie Close.
So Bob's from Loyal. So they just had the Loyal Corn Fest, right?
Nope, it's this weekend.
That's coming.
Yep.
All right. So that's like one of the biggest deals of the year in Loyal, right?
Yep.
And there's Vesper Days, Auburndale Music Fest. All these communities have their thing. Well, in Pittsville, we have a heck of a 4th of July.
Yep, been there.
And they have a parade, and they have a fireworks, and the evening before they have a marathon. But at the parade, we have to have horses. And they go through, at the end of the parade, the horses go through. And the Pittsville Library sells stickers that you can lay at your location along the parade route, which is Main Street. And if you get a direct hit from a horse, it's called the Road Apple Horse.
Yep.
You get a prize, but there's money left over to go to the library. So we turn feces into support for the library.
She's not impressed.
No.
Delaney Claus's animal sells for $3,500, purchased by Doyne Excavating.
I didn't convince her to come to the Pittsville parade.
She's not going to buy one. This is Alina Calloway. Market lamb weighs 127. She's with the Pleasant Corners 4-H. She is the daughter of Josh and Ashley Calloway. Speaking of Farm Bureau, Ashley's big involved with Farm Bureau.
Elena is a first year here.
Yeah. All right, and then we go to her animal sells for $2,700, purchased by Sean Dupuy Construction. And now we go to Corbin Cherney. Corbin is daughter of Aaron and Carolee Cherney. North County Line 4-H. Hog weighs 270, which is about 3 times what Corbin weighs.
Say what?
Which is about 3 times what Corbin weighs.
Yeah, for sure. So that's a good sign. We have a lot of young exhibitors here this year.
That is. Well, that's like FFA went over 1 million members this year. The
biggest
FFA.
ever, probably.
Yep,
huh?
it is. Oh, yeah. They've been at record levels for the last several weeks, but they surpassed
now they went over 1 million.
1 million members this year.
Yeah, and a lot of people, if you would just guess someone in the general public, they'd say in the 1958 FFA maxed out or something like that, right? Yeah.
Well, and then, you think about, when I went through, girls were not allowed to join FFA.
We're not allowed.
Until
and now they're I'm guessing the state officer team has got quite a few more girls than boys.
Oh, sure. There's only 3 boys
Yeah.
out of 11 officers. No, girls have been. Yeah, and I think the membership is probably pushing 65% female at least. So Corbin Cherney's animal sells for $3,000, purchased by Arbor Vantage Tree Care. And now we've got Brooklyn Okonek. She is daughter of Jeff and Jenna Okonek, Pleasant Corners 4-H. And the steer weighs 1218. And this is kind of a Hereford that faded.
Yeah, it's not a straight Hereford. But it does have the red in the balding.
Right. Sells for $47.50, purchased by Northwest Cranberry.
You don't have many cranberry businesses buying them in Wausau and Neilsville, do you? That's a Wood County thing, isn't it?
That's a Wood County thing. This is Amber Drexler, Market Hog, weighs 253. And Amber is daughter of Lucas and Christy Drexler, Roselvo Rockets 4-H.
There we got one.
There we go. Speaking of cranberries, so my son lives in Richland Center. And of course, Highway 80 has been blocked off in Babcock since
goes to Richland Center.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, alternatively, the detour takes you from Babcock over to Necedah and down Highway 13, or to Nakusa and down Highway 13.
Is that currently in place?
No, now it's open again in Babcock. Yeah. But it was closed off for 2 months.
Yeah, but I knew shortcuts.
So I'm looking for shortcuts. So I'm looking at the map going, okay, you go straight south of Chile and you come out by City Point, or by Sherwood. No, not Sherwood. What am I? Anyway, straight south and then there's a straight road that goes straight south that comes out at Mather. It's called Cranberry Road.
And it's like on the Wood Jackson County line.
Have you ever been on Cranberry Road?
Oh, yeah.
You're driving on top of dike.
Yes. There's water on both sides.
Lily pads.
And it varies. Some of it's paved.
Yep.
Some of it's very loose gravel.
Yep.
And if you got up to speed on the paved and then you hit the loose gravel, if you get it going to skid, then you're in the lily pads.
You're in the water. It was just yeah.
But it is a very direct route.
It is.
I know it. Yes.
Brooklyn Okonek's animal sells for $37.50, purchased by Nelson Jameson. And now we have we have Ross Schreiner up here. We missed Amber Drexler. I missed Amber Drexler. Amber Drexler had a Market Hog, $253. That sold for $37.50.
Yeah,
Yep, I didn't check my
Brooklyn
Amber
was $47.50.
Right. Okay, now this is Ross Schneider, and Ross is Market Lamb with the Marshfield FFA, 152-pound animal, son of Mike and Nicole Schreiner, and the lamb sells for $1,800, and it was purchased by Earth Incorporated. And now we go to Elena Sparks Schultz.
Okay, let's stop with.
You got a bio here.
Well, I'm confused. Ross Schreiner.
All right, this is Elena Sparks Schultz, Market Hog, and the hog weighs 246. She's with Snyder 4-H. She's the daughter of Andrea Mann.
Yep, I have to wait a few.
Okay.
Mr. Canoyer called it 112, but it's really 117 that we have more details.
He's throwing us curves.
Yeah.
So yes, if you ever want a drive experience, do Cranberry Road. And then you come out at Mather.
Which is not a place hardly either.
But
is that where they sell the log cabins, the log houses? Is that Mather?
Oh no, there's a huge cranberry operation
right there.
Right at the east side of Mather. But no, I thought, well, this is kind of a neat drive, so I've done it again, but I'm not driving that at night.
No, there's probably a lot of deer out there too.
Swimming?
Well, there's patches of woods along there.
There is 16 miles of water.
So, that I've worked with cranberry growers.
Sure.
So I've often given tours at the Warren's Cranberry Fest.
Sure.
And you said that bridge was out on the south side of Babcock. I think they improved it because there have been different times that it was closed due to flood.
Sure.
It's a
Yep.
flood-prone area. So I couldn't get, it should be very direct from my house to Warren's Cranberry Fest. But the road's closed. And so it's, I think, the first time I met Cranberry Road. And so it's flooding, right? So Cranberry Road is also flooding, but it's not so high that I'm worried about getting pulled in by the flood. Yeah.
It's like my son-in-law. So I was telling my son-in-law about it. So he had to take it down there. And he says, if you drove slow enough, I think you could fish while you're doing that.
Yeah, right.
Atlanta Sparks Schultz animal sells for $3,100, and that was purchased by Gardner Cold Storage. And now we've got Owen Shinneman, and Owen has a beef, and it weighs 1122. He is the son of Andrew and Gabrielle Shinneman, and he's with the Wittenberg Workers 4-H.
Yeah, and pretty sure that Owen's parents met at the fair, probably at the market animal sale. So.
Carrying on the tradition.
Wittenberg Workers is a Nakusa area club.
And it sells for $4,500, purchased by Gardner Cold Storage. And now we go to Levi Swenson. Levi is the son of John and Heather Swenson, with a Webster 4-H and a hog that weighs 281. Jason Bernick on the shovel.
Yes, they've been doing it. They haven't come all the way up by us yet.
Yeah. I think he's afraid of Sheila.
Poor Sheila. We should add that we have a very long-bodied pig in here right now. Really, for real, is not digitally enhanced. But there is also the Central Wisconsin State, besides the tool we're working off of here. This started during the pandemic when everything closed down during the pandemic, but we did not. The official market animal sale closed, but there was still a market animal sale, and we held it out at the golf course, right?
Right.
And so the animals couldn't be there, and we had to have very strict protocols. But now, because of that, we have this book that has the name of the exhibitor and a picture. Every exhibitor has to submit from home the picture of their animal. And we found, how when you're doing, a lot of you have experience with different, Publisher or Word, or I'm trying to think of what different things where you make posters or stuff like that. And you maybe change the dimensions of your picture. Well, we got some really long-bodied pigs. So
we laughed about one was what happens when you cross your dachshund with your hog.
Yeah.
So we had Levi Swenson's animal sells for $4,900, purchased by Nikolai Construction. And now we've got Jessica Lindo in here. Jessica, daughter of Kevin and Ann Lindo, Marshfield FFA. Lamb weighs 124, and it sells for $1,600, purchased by Partners Bank of Stratford. And then we go to Abigail Becker, a market hog out of the Auburndale FFA. So I'm thinking you have a bio there. She's the daughter of Steve and Shelley Becker. Hog weighs 252.
Abigail Becker, otherwise known as Abby Becker, Auburndale. She's older. She's a first-year student at Fox Valley Technical College, majoring in agribusiness science and technology and animal science.
So probably her last year at the fair.
And this pig is named based on its color pattern here a little bit, I'd say. This pig's name is Socks. So it has white boots, socks, whatever.
The right front has a white sock on.
And he's a little stiff-legged there, I think, actually. Right? He's got kind of a stiff gait.
He does.
Abby is in Auburndale FFA, Country Kids 4-H Club, Auburndale Joint Volunteer Fire Department.
Ah.
She enjoys farming and horseback riding, baling small square bales, and getting a farmer's tan. And Abby's favorite ag memory, not specifically a market sale or fair, is she was on winning the FFA dairy judging competition at World Dairy Expo, and her team, we've had a lot of these in Wood County between Marshfield and Auburndale, and anyhow, her team advanced to competitions in Scotland and Ireland.
Yes.
So a neat experience there.
And Abigail's animal sells for $47.50, purchased by Forest Auto Repair. And now we have Ella Stickert. Ella is daughter of Wade and Heather Stickert, Golden Glow 4-H, steer weighing 1482.
And just ahead of Abigail, we had Jessica Lindo, who came. She was the winner of that Supreme Showmanship event.
She's been super involved in the fair. She was fairest in the fair, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
And also big time in FFA. $8,000 for Stickert's steer.
One of the higher ones.
Nikolai Construction, the buyer. All right, we go to Tanner Wisconsin. Should once again thank our producer, Joe Anderson, who has been sitting through the program patiently. Joe has not been this quiet this long for most of his life, I think.
He can't hear us,
and
I don't
good.
think.
That's why I can say things like that.
Yeah.
But Zaleski Sports, thanks to them for producing this for us.
Yeah, so if you want to recapture moments later, that's part of the online thing, is you can go and find it if you go to Zaleski Sports, right? You can watch this tomorrow if you don't have time to watch all of it now.
And of course, coming Friday night, they've got, I think they said 18 crews out doing football games. So
18 crews.
18 crews. So the season starts. I believe Joe is doing Colby Stanley Boyd.
Okay.
So, yeah. All right. Tanner Wisconsin animal sells for $4,500. Was purchased by Wisconsin Cheese. We go to Anna Gilman. Anna is daughter of Jason Gilman and Andrea Mush. She is showing through the Girl Scouts. And a 265-pound hog.
We have a bit of that. I think more than a lot of counties. We have Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, breed groups. Like
there was a family group at one time too, wasn't there? A family group at one time too, I think, wasn't there?
I don't know if we got one now.
Yeah.
Obviously, FFA and 4-H. And State Fair and other things like that have changed. They used to all, if you're going to show at the State Fair, you'd have to maybe compete at the county level or at least register through your county extension office. And now the Junior State Fair is online, sign up, be part of whatever group you want. It's a lot less formal than it used to be. Yeah.
But still a lot of counties,
because that tradition is so strong. Right. But it's not a requirement.
Anna's animal sells for $47.50, purchased by Nelson Construction. And now we go to Oliver Andries, Market Lamb, weighs 148. Oliver with the Richfield 4-H, and he is the son of Kurt and Angie Andries. How has the overall participation been at State Fair? I know, the counties, Wood County, Clark County, Marathon County send big groups down, but
I think it's been pretty good because they used to have rules more than they do now about how many animals a person can bring. It's a little more freer, so I believe they maintain their numbers pretty well. The Junior Dairy Show has long been the largest junior show, we believe, in the world. Bigger than World Dairy Expo. The Wisconsin State Fair Adult Dairy Show open show, I guess would be the right term, is not very big. There's not a lot of cows really next to Milwaukee. I think they have the public really likes the draft horses.
Oh, yes. But
Right.
there too, those numbers are down.
Okay.
Because my family was showing down there this year, and I think they, now they do the Clydesdales first, and then they bring in the Percherons and the Belgians the following week. But I mean, in the hitches, there were like 9 hitches.
Okay.
Oliver's Animal sells for $2,000, purchased by Corinne Fredrickson. And now we go to Madison Canoyer, daughter of Mark and Kelly Canoyer, Webster 4-H member. Hog weighs 260. But yeah, the draft horses do pull interest. But now they only show up to 6 horse hitches. They don't do 8s anymore. But it's just, there are fewer and fewer draft horse exhibitors. You think back of the show we used to have here, and I mean, we had 250 horses at this show.
Yeah.
And they aren't around
That's
anymore.
an expensive thing to put off,
yeah.
isn't it?
Although, so the Hart Equine Center at Auburndale, Equine Therapy Center, so they do a big horse show as a fundraiser, and they use the arena, indoor and outdoor arena at Custer, the Heartland Arena. And I've been the announcer for that for the last 2 years. And really big show this year because so many shows were canceled that were people that could finally got a chance to show.
Yeah.
But so we did English on Saturday, Western on Sunday, and number 1, I think they had, 50 exhibitors, something like that. But I mean, it's all girls, 10 to 14 years old, and their moms. The only guys around there are feeding the horses, taking care of the horses. But I said, you've got, the kids have all the Western regalia, all the wear, the hats, the buckles, the boots, everything, the saddles, the bridles, all the tack. And then on Sunday they've got all the English tack and all of that. And you got to have, the 5th wheel trailer with the camper in the front and the 1-ton dually to pull it. It's like, that's an expensive sport.
It's a lot of, So you got some updating to do here yet?
All right, Madison Canoyer's hog sells for $4,200, and that was purchased by Southport Home Services. And then we've got Harlan Meisner now. Harlan is the son of Jason and Jody Meisner. Golden Glow 4-H steer weighs 1506, and that just sold for $57.50, 5750, $57.50, and that was purchased by Lynn Derry. Then we go to Haley Klum. Haley is the daughter of Sam and Holly Klum, Richfield 4-H, and a hog weighs 286. Speaking of Lynn Derry, Clark County Fair livestock sale that morning, a barn burned just south of Loyal, between Loyal and Granton, and Anna Cahart had the grand champion dairy steer donated the sale proceeds.
I heard some of this, yes.
To the family that lost the barn. Lynn Derry bought that. I think it went for $15.75 a pound.
$15.75
So
a
it was
pound.
about $23,000.
Nice.
But Anna just graduated, and is going on in the Granton High School. Is going on into ag education.
But she wasn't the person that had the fire. She donated.
She donated. They live in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
So it was right along Highway K.
I've seen where they're burnt.
Yeah, right. Yeah, they saved the freestall part of it.
Yeah.
They were switching cows. They would milk in the big barn, and then they'd switch half out.
Yeah.
And it was when they were switching is when it caught
When it
fire.
burnt.
When it burned down. Klum's Animal sells for $32.50, purchased by Nasonville Dairy. And this is Noah Landwehr. Market beef weighs 1172. Noah is with the Badger 4-H and son of Dan and Carla Landwehr. So there again, I mean, what a tremendous, and there too, the bidders were on it right now. I mean, they really.
So those cows, that was milking dairy.
Yep.
Those cows had to go somewhere for a while.
There was, I'm thinking, the Erogen barn isn't that far away, and that's being used, but not the. I think
Not fully used?
They had capacity.
So that's quite a, these things happen, and it's pretty interesting how the farm community gathers together, and someone with a big barn takes 200 cows or something like that.
Yep, tremendous. Steer sales for $4,500, purchased by Custom Meats of Marathon. And now we go to Alicia Bell. Alicia is the daughter of Josh and Lacey Bell. Golden Glow 4-H, hog weighs 274. We went through, our barn burned down first day of school, my sophomore year of high school. And it was 2 months exactly from the last day we milked in the old barn to the first time we milked in the new barn. And all the heavy timber was cut out of my brother's woods. They brought in a portable sawmill, all the volunteer help. People are just phenomenal. They are just so good in how they just...
And the more modern version of that is dozens of cattle trailers showing up because those cows got to get milked.
They got to move. They got to move somewhere now.
Yeah.
The hog sells for $4,000, purchased by MCHS Foundation, Marshfield Clinic Health System. All right, we go to Ava Forrest. Ava has a market lamb, Shady Lane 4-H, or hog rather, market hog, and the hog weighs 269. And of course, Ava, the daughter of Randy and Amy Forrest.
And suddenly, we have ourselves pretty close to the end.
Yes, they're zipping right along here.
So we were talking before that I think the goal is move an animal in under, I think, 45 seconds. A minute, under a minute.
I guess at Clark County we always, if we could average under a minute an animal, that's what we'd shoot for.
Yeah.
And that's because some of them get longer. I mean, you get people bidding, an $8,000 animal is going to take a lot longer than what a $2,000 animal does. And so you'd get some of these, and you get a couple of hot bidders, and away we go.
So that fire was during the fair?
The morning of.
The opening of the
fair. Yeah, I
think
that morning of Saturday. I think it was that Saturday morning. So, yes, I drove by it on Sunday on the way back from the fair, and, boy, that thing, I don't think there was any hay in the barn.
It seems to me that I've observed that there's a lot of more fire risk in the milking parlor area than out in the barn.
I think this, if I heard correctly, it was the vacuum pump area.
Yeah.
And so Ava's animal sells for $32.50, purchased by General Farm Supply out of Spencer. And now we've got Olivia Smurs, daughter of Jesse and Kathy Smurs, North County Line 4-H. Hog weighs 287. And this is the last before we go to the Auction of Champions.
So I was a little negligent, but the sale management was telling us beforehand that last year, and I think we've probably done as well, last year the steers averaged 4,600. The hogs averaged basically 3,000, and the lambs averaged 1,510. So I think we're on pace.
The lambs averaged 1,510.
1,510.
The hog sells for $4,500, and it was purchased by Econ Electric. So now we go to the Auction of Champions. Unfortunately, I did not have the numbers as to what Clark County did. I didn't think of that until this morning, and so it'll be in the Tribune Record Gleaner this week.
Okay.
So there. I'll get the TRG tomorrow, and I'll be able to tell you. So we go to the Auction of Champions. We will start out with the Reserve Champions. All right, so our Reserve Champion Market Lamb, exhibited by Anna Marie Owie, who, of course, is now going into her second year of college.
And
daughter of Dale and
we've
Kelly.
had her in the Champions before.
Oh, yes. She's a heck of a basketball player, too. Market Lamb weighs 141. I was just looking, so who beat her? Emma Kurtzwell. Those two have knocked heads before.
But I think we've seen owies with pigs a lot, haven't we?
No, I think they've done lambs.
Oh, okay, maybe
They did beef. Brooke did beef.
Yep. So they're pretty versatile.
And there's Mom right over there. Kelly's up front and close.
Yep.
And her twin sisters holding the sign. And Brooke's taking pictures.
It's a family affair.
Yes, it is.
And we're getting those legs perfectly square. Of course, a lot of us don't know what we're trying to accomplish, but she's trying to get a loin to pop, and a lot of length there. Large through the leg of lamb area.
So he's at 3,400 right now.
Pretty steady bidding. We got one right behind me.
Yes, I was just looking at who.
Maybe you can pick that up on the
Broadcast here.
On the live feed here, but there's a man taking bids right behind me pretty steady.
Yeah, Cap Bendixson is the guy right behind you. Cap, of course, of the National Farm Medicine Center.
Yeah.
And he's got 3 bidders going here right now.
So Cap hasn't worked so hard all night, has he? I think we might be getting close to here.
Oh, she just said no. Yep, there we go. So the reserve champion lamb sells for $6,000
to Earth.
Earth Incorporated, the buyer. It only takes one challenger, though.
Right.
All right, we go to the reserve champion market hog. This is Lily Hasenoil, daughter of Paul and Jill Hasenoil, Country Kids 4-H, and the hog weighs 252. Lily Hasenoil.
So other prizes that these, besides these hopefully good prices these champions get. So Lily Hasenoil was also one of those supreme showmen. Mm-hmm. Actually, of these 8 animals that are reserve or grand champion, 3 of the exhibitors were in that showman group. They get a chair.
Okay.
They get a chair.
Embroidered with their...
Yeah. They get these banners that they're displaying right now. They get the honor to stay longer here at the fair in the... there's a tent of champions here at the fair. The showmanship winners got gift certificates from VitaPlus for the first place, second place showman.
And a belt buckle. $7,000, go for 75.
Tomorrow we'll be doing showmanship and dairy. we make a solid morning out of that. We have to be done by 1 because animals are dismissed at 2.
Okay.
And at 1 o'clock, all the livestock and the dairy and they come and announce herdsmanship winners or some scholarship recipients. So we have a award ceremony at 1 tomorrow. So we have to have all that stuff figured out by 1 tomorrow.
So do you have quite a few open class coming in?
Susan Miller is the superintendent. I think she's expecting the barns to be fairly full. They did change this show palace here. During the open show, they'd come in here and put steel posts in the floor here and create some more stalling. And they decided not to do that any longer. So we will be using most all our space.
Okay, the hog just sold for $10,000, and there's a group of buyers here. She's holding up 6 numbers. So we've got Power Pack.
It was also MCHS Foundation.
It's got to hold the numbers up again here.
141, 208, 141, 182, 108, 132, and 90. Thank you again. And then you better move your number down here also. Thank you much. Yes, sir.
Hewitt's.
Hewitt's Meat Processing. Marwood Construction. Forward Bank. So Wisconsin Truck and Equipment, the contending bidder. You have to wonder what they'll do for the champion.
So that's been a thing here. You and I have talked about it. Syndicates.
Yep.
I think they turned out to be a pretty wonderful thing.
As long as you have somebody to bid against them.
Yeah.
So
you can have 2 syndicates bidding against each other.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yep. That was where we always laughed about. All right, so we go to the Grand or Reserve Champion Dairy Beef. This is Corbin Pankratz, son of John and Carrie Pankratz, Golden Gold 4-H, and steer weighs 1485. Reserve Champion Dairy Steer.
So a dairy steer, so black and white, spotted, so you think Holstein. And I'm sure there is Holstein, but I'm a long-time Holstein person. Full-blood Holstein doesn't have the typically the involvement of black as far down on the feet.
I was just looking at the legs. The legs are just...
Yeah. There's a little, I can't tell you what else in there, but something probably kind of spotted. It could be a Montbeliard or...
Something jumped over the fence.
It probably was planned.
But the striping on the legs, the spotting on the legs is really unique. Makes for a very sharp animal.
He's just a touch smaller in height than the full-blood Holsteins, but he's really wide over the loin. You can see why they'd like this steer.
Yeah.
He didn't come out of one of the heavier classes. He was in the middle of the group.
Yeah, weighs in at 1485.
Yeah.
Looking at the Grand Champion Dairy Steer is 1596. So 111 pounds heavier. Sells for $57.50 and purchased by Wheelers of Marshfield. All right, now we go to the Reserve Champion Market Beef, and this is Lauren Boone, daughter of Eric and Leah Boone, Marshfield FFA, and this steer weighs 1275. This is a compact little steer.
He is, yep. I would agree.
Doesn't have to reach down so far for the grass.
I think he's been seeing more corn and grain than grass recently.
Well, you have to reach down for that too.
Yeah. And I've commented before that these animals that are bred to win at a show, besides being well muscled and symmetrical and straight in their lines and not looking excessive in the lower cost quarters, and so not looking wasty, but they also need to have hair. And this one's got some degree of care, and I think we got it sold already, huh?
Yep, goes for $6,000. Custom fabrication and repair. So we go to the champions.
So the Lamb exhibitor, Emma Kurzweil, was one of those supreme showmanship competitors. Emma's coming up the higher deck here.
Market Lamb weighs 159. Emma is the daughter of Chad and Kelly Kurzweil and a member of the Pittsville FFA.
Pittsville, where I'm from, and Pittsville 4-H clubs have a pretty good history of being strong in sheep.
Yeah. Well, and I think you've got a pretty good FFA program going down there too. Lindsay's done a good job.
They've enjoyed some investment in shop and egg class facilities.
Yeah, I have to get down there and see that. She's told me about it, but I haven't been down there since they built it. You know, you think about is the Rapids FFA going right now, or?
I think they are not. It's partly the school district. They don't do much here at the fair.
Yeah.
But I think they're still pretty involved in community projects and so forth, yes.
But I think, Auburndale, Marshfield, and Pittsville certainly have some stellar programs.
Marshfield has 2 instructors, and they're both very involved here at the fair. Mark Z is the superintendent of this the beef show. Tim Haig is the superintendent of the dairy show. That's quite a bit for a lamb.
Grand Champion Lamb sells for $72.50. Complete Filtration Resources, the buyer. And then we go to the Grand Champion Market Hog, and this is Samuel Stickert. He is the son of Eric and Tammy Stickert, Golden Glow 4-H. Hog weighs 284, and this is a solid hog.
They got him shiny and sparkly.
Yeah, he's wearing bling.
Yeah. So I was, in Auburndale we have Mark Knoyer, who is in charge. He's the swine superintendent. So those 3 instructors are all superintendents here, and he's also the president of the market animal sale. And I think he had like 4 kids in here tonight.
Yep, I think so. Yeah. And he's originally from Rapids, isn't he?
He is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he lives in the Marshfield district, so he's got the county pretty well covered.
He sees the county.
He really bloomed during the pandemic when he was it daily or weekly. He was updating us on
daily
different cheeses.
He did daily.
Oh man!
What was it? Know Your Cheese, wasn't that it?
Yeah.
Yeah. He was terrific.
He really showed that he could develop a presence on social media on the internet.
Know Your Cheese.
Man of many capabilities. They also in Auburndale have this school forest that they relocated to be right next to the school, and they've done. They got the sunflower patch and the trail. A lot of neat things in Auburndale.
One is his meat processing course has become really. If Auburndale or Pittsville has their cranberries, and Auburndale's got their meat processing. Owen's got their maple syrup business.
Maple syrup. That was, they had a big highlight at the Clark County Farm Tech Days, right?
Right, yes. Yeah, they were in Innovation Square, yep. Right now they're at $12,000 on this Grand Champion Market Hog. $12,000. 108 and 90. 108 is Hewitt's Meat Processing. And we've got a few more here. 185, 151.
Forward Bank, Nikolai.
Quality Electrical Solutions.
Sheila and I are both noticing that the space to write the is not adequate.
That's why they put you on the last page. You've got more room there. Mittens Home Appliances. All right, now we go to the Grand Champion Dairy Beef. And this is Ryan Bernick, son of Jason and Leah Bernick, Golden Glow 4-H. Steer weighs 1596. This is a tall, strong animal, isn't it?
And he's exhibiting one of these highly desired belt buckles that the beef exhibitors like.
Doesn't have any bling on his belt, though.
No, no.
The girls wear the shiny belts.
They do. Instead, he's wearing plaid, right? So another thing that goes on at the fair is Wood County, I think you're that way in Clark County too, but an exhibitor can only sell one animal.
Right.
So in some counties, if you show pig and beef, you get to sell one of each. Some other counties, Janesville sells like 600 animals at their Rock County sale. The kids could sell almost all that they want.
How long does that sale take?
Well, it takes forever, and the kids don't get as good of prices.
Right.
So we have the rule they can only sell one. Well, we have kids that sell at least in 2 or the 3 species, or beef and dairy beef, and so they got to pick. And some of these kids that are really good might be the Grand or Reserve in 2 species. And so what we do is if they have to cancel out, I'll stop the story for this. We just sold
$10,000 for the Grand Champion Dairy Steer from Burnix. And we'll see who bought this. Marshall Clinic Health System, and donating it to the Auction of Champions.
Nice. So,
which is a fundraiser for the Marshall Clinic. No, that's all right. We go to the Grand Champion Steer, and this is Adam Potts, and he is the son of Neil and Brenda Potts, Marshfield FFA. Steer weighs 1365.
So this is where I'm telling the story. Not to take anything. This is an outstanding animal.
Yes.
But we get cases where the Grand Champion or the Reserve can't sell, and it's happened often enough that we have a backup plan. So in this case, the Grand Champion beef, they sell a different animal at the Jackson County Fair. And they can only really compete at one county.
Yep.
So Adam got moved up. So he was the reserve champion of the Junior Beef Show, but he's the grand champion of the market animal sale.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So who was the grand champion of the beef?
Brenna Thorson. So Bruce and Cheryl's granddaughter.
But she couldn't sell.
She sells at Jackson County.
Okay. Wow.
and that was a very beautiful steer.
So
Lots of hair.
Going to bring more money in Jackson County than it would in.
I just think the granddaughter goes to school there. You know.
Okay.
Grandparents are here. The granddaughter's
They're in Rudolph.
over there.
They're in Black River Falls.
Yeah. So, but Bruce, I was talking to the grandfather. You and I both know very well from farm tech days, if nothing else. So the steer actually doesn't walk. It's a pretty common thing when you put a lot of weight on. Some of the genetics, they don't. They still walk, but they don't walk ideally. And so the steer would take a great side profile picture like this, but when he's parading, that was his
Weak point.
It was weak point. He was also a bred and owned steer, and I think a purebred, so he could compete at the state fair in the bred and owned contest, which they tried for, and they were competitive. They didn't get it. Of course, we know that's a very tough show there.
And I think that's getting noticeably tougher.
Yeah.
That really, yeah.
But I didn't mean to tell that story to detract from this an outstanding steer, right?
This is just a solid animal. You know, you can see, what does it weigh, 1365.
And Adam Potts was another one of those supreme showmanship competitors.
Right, yeah.
And I think in the senior beef, if I recall correctly, he was first place. You know, we have 3 age divisions. Right. He was first place senior, and his sister was second place. So, and we actually, Farm Tech Day Connection, remember his father was very involved with the heritage farm equipment.
Oh, yes. He brought in the Olivers, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yep, that's right. I never made, I was marveled at that show. I didn't realize that many Olivers were made.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of fans of Olivers.
Oh, yes, as we found out.
Yeah.
So we're at 10,000. So 10,000 for the grand champion steer, 10,000 for the reserve champion hog, 12,000 for the grand champion hog, 10,000 for the dairy steer.
It's a lot of money in those champions.
Yes. All right, the buyers. Complete Filtration Resources. The buyer.
Oh. It's just complete filtration.
Wow. One buyer.
Wow.
Oh, we also had Custom Fab and Complete Filtration.
2 of them?
2 buyers.
Only 2.
Only 2.
So that still turns to 5,000 apiece,
That's
I think.
still, yeah.
And I think I saw their names a few other times.
Oh, yes. Yep.
So there is a lot of change that some of these businesses invest in our youth. It's very, very gratifying.
Looking back over the years, and of course it's hard to compare now because, you know, we had pound prices rather than dollar prices up until 2 years ago. But overall, the overall sale still generating increasing interest, you think?
Well, I think we talk about it in the dairy show because we know that the dairy industry in Wood County, Clark County, is the biggest component of agriculture. So the logic would say that the fair should be full of dairy animals. Right?
Yeah.
And we see, and I'm not begrudging it because this is just a neat thing that a lot of people put effort into to make it happen, but a lot of people, a lot of youth that maybe don't have a farm background, or maybe they're dairy farm kids that see what they can do through the livestock projects. And so I think the money is a part. It's not the only part, but the money is a part of the interest here.
Well, especially how many of these dollars go to college educations or tech school or whatever.
Oh, yeah. I think people realize these are, in general, really good kids and a really good investment.
And the hope is that these kids will go to school and then come back here and be on the livestock committee and be in the fair.
And even if they don't all come back, let's say they become an airline pilot and they fly to Asia every day, they still know agriculture and central Wisconsin agriculture.
You can still talk.
So it's still a good deal, right?
So what's next for the fair? You mentioned that the junior fair showmanship tomorrow.
Dairy showmanship, I'll be in the ring all day tomorrow, and I was telling you the livestock part of, so most of a junior show, field crops, canning, baking, photography, all that's judged. The stuff that's not an animal gets to stay. But the livestock, we have a switchover, which you don't have in Clark County.
Nope.
So we have chaos here on Thursday after 2, and by midnight Thursday night, most of the open show dairy and beef animals are in here at the fair.
Right.
And we have a big goat show goes on. They come in. There's not an open pig show. Rabbits and poultry exchange. So we don't have rabbits all through the fair or poultry all through the fair. They switch off. So we have a big turnover Thursday afternoon, and then all that open show dairy judging is Friday and Saturday. Beef open is Friday morning. So that's intense for those beef exhibitors because they get here Thursday late, and right away in the morning they got a showtime. Yeah. You would know what the draft horse schedule would be. Or
they're just showing on Saturday.
Okay.
They're going to do, well, they've got the horse pull Friday night, and that's always a big event. And then Saturday, they start halters, I believe, at probably in the morning, and then they start hitches at noon. And then Saturday night, they're going to hook the 10-horse pyramid.
Okay.
So and that'll be the full show like they do at Farm Technology Days, where they hitch them in the ring, and Danny does his thing.
Yeah.
But always a crowd pleaser. So, yeah, this, I believe, is one of the last times they're going to hitch the pyramid this year. So if you want to see that pyramid one more time.
That's a big deal.
Oh, it is. It is. It's great to see. So,
Friday and Saturday is today we had dairy show. Tomorrow we have junior dairy showmanship. Friday and Saturday is dairy and beef here. And the cattle all stay here Sunday for the public to view. But it's that history from Labor Day that this fair was for a century, that the animals are here, but there's not much competing on the last day of the fair. Mm-hmm. The exhibitors get to visit with each other in the public. Yeah.
And if you're running out of things to do at the fair, come on over to the Loyal Corn Festival.
Right. Which we didn't used to conflict with the Marshfield
That was
Fair.
Always. Yep.
And you guys didn't move, right?
Nope.
You stayed where you were.
We've been where we've always been.
And you're doing well yet, right?
It is. And Edgar Steam Engine Days, I think, go on as well this weekend.
Oh, so it's a really big place.
That was one of the things, remember when we were talking about moving the fair, and I said, you're going head-to-head with Corn Festival, you're going head-to-head with Steam Engine Days.
Yeah.
And so what? So no reason to stay home this weekend.
No reason whatsoever.
Well, thanks
to Sheila. And
it's
kind of the end of the summer.
Yeah. Thanks to Sheila Bowen for keeping our stats again, and thanks to Zaleski Sports and Joe for producing this. And Matt, always a pleasure. And
always a pleasure.
Good Lord willing, the creek don't rise, and we haven't ticked anybody off. We may do this again next year.
Yeah, if Sheila doesn't get crapped on or anything. So.
We'll have to put a guard up in front of her. Plexiglass.
You got to have a little adventure in life, right?
Got to smell the farm once in a while.
Sheila says no. No, it's not necessary. All right. Well, thank you.
Well, thank you. It's been a pleasure. And for all of us here at Central Wisconsin State Fair, the market animal sale, again, a big success, and especially thanks to the sponsors, to the buyers, the people who are here who spent a lot of money this evening for a very good cause. So thank you and good night.
Good night.